All right. Hello and welcome to session 4 of Anterra. Yeah, that's it. We're done.
I expected you to say all these.
I lost it.
I
It popped into my head, and I'm just like, where am I? Yeah,
Why is there light here?
we're the Runtime Initiative, and this is Anterra session 4. Last time that we played, Fabian, Ralos, Kurin, and Kier found themselves on the road still from Darkhold to Iridor. Having camped for a night, they were briefly beset by a pack of hunting wolves that attacked during, I don't remember which watch it was off the top of my head, but attacked. Fortunately, I think it was Fabian that spotted them. Who knows? I don't know.
think it was me, but it was
They were
it was
watching.
11, so like or 12 or something like that. So
Don't let them derail you, Kevin.
It's all right. I'm all over the place. It's not their fault today. Although, still a little bit salty about that first session when I was like, all right, just let me get through this intro thing.
I thought it was. I agree. Mistakes were made.
Kevin, is the mic on? Yes, Jordan, the mic is on.
Didn't look like it was on.
he's all right now.
Yes.
It is.
Oh.
It is. So, after slaying the pack of wolves, Kurin skinned them and collected the pelts. And you guys continued onwards. Onto the 6th day of travel, you came across, initially a sort of swirling flock of scavenging birds feeding on the carrion from what you discovered was an ambush on a small trading caravan.
I'm trying not to do the ambush thing, dude. Let me be.
All right. You
I'm
came
trying to
Probably the
upon
good one.
you
in this
came
whole
upon a bacon tree. Just kidding. It was an ambush. Where you found
Was
the mostly consumed remains of a trading caravan. You investigated the carriage and found, I believe Fabian found a ledger in a secret compartment in the carriage that was from the Morley Trading Company. Purin also realized that there was a pretty prominent trail that you could follow from the road after the perpetrators, who had seemingly dragged off the horses that were pulling the carriage into the woods. You guys took the ledger, and after investigating the scene a little bit more, decided to follow up and see if you could track down whoever had done this, eventually coming to a large felled tree a couple miles into the forest. You found what looks to be a goblin encampment and attempted to ambush them and were half successful.
It worked.
It
We
worked.
kind of ambushed first.
Who owns the house?
We didn't get hit.
By a picture, I'm saying. Didn't have.
So after the partially successful ambush attempt, 2 bugbears and a handful of additional goblins emerged from the tree cave bunker place and tried to track you down in the woods and attack. You successfully, there's a word for this, I don't know. It was kind of like hit and run guerrilla tactics. Evaded capture.
Kited.
That's it. Kited. You successfully kited them. Quite successfully. You just couldn't be sneaky to save your
Need
lives.
a leash.
But eventually you were able to fell your 6 foes. And that is where we start today. Still on the outskirts of the campsite at this point. And Yeah. So, on the outskirts of the campsite, what are the four of you doing?
Well, what do you suppose the odds are that was all of them in there?
I'd give it low odds.
Really depends on how much room there is down there, I suppose.
It was quite the commotion. I would imagine that the rest of them would have come out if they had heard, if they had cared. We can try to investigate.
Alternatively, we could wait just a little bit to see if any more come out to see what's taking so long from the advance party. I don't mind actually right now. We can bring it straight into their tunnel.
Wasn't really an advanced party though.
Not if
it would have
yeah,
been the
that's
watch,
true.
so
That's true.
might be a while till they get back up.
I think we'd likely have the element of surprise at the moment. We can send our way down into this tunnel
See how quickly we can lose it.
and I mean, we have not been quiet so far, but I have faith.
I really would have taken everybody, including myself, to be pretty good at the whole sneaking thing, but clearly I was mistaken on all fronts.
Although that's why I wear the dark colors to help me be sneaky. Clearly not very good at it.
I mean, I was the most sneak of anyone in this group for a moment, and that surprised even myself. But I don't know.
Should have taught us better.
I mean, I gave you a real working example of how this is supposed to go. But
Also fell into the hole.
I think we could certainly. I don't know, Kier, I think this decision falls to you.
I mean,
We have to share the responsibility of decision making amongst
I'm
the
not
group.
sure that that's how that works. If you're assuming that this is a group of 4 equal individuals, then one person deciding seems a bit questionable, doesn't it?
Well, did you have a decision you wanted to report?
I believe that I stated we can go in and check it out.
I think your house has been invaded by a drow.
Yeah.
Just a spider walking up the backside of that.
It's just a spy of
Lilith?
Loth.
Lilith.
Well,
Probably not an accident that it sounds vaguely like Lilith, though, I imagine.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm inclined to head in as well.
I just want to make sure that everyone who's responsible for these murders on the road are dealt with.
Exactly. And based on this ledger, there's probably plenty of stuff in there that we could get for
I had a
ourselves.
second where I was like, hold up.
That's
Nothing happened.
No. Okay.
I agree. I think this is a righteous cause, and we're here. We were equally attacked, and
It's fine.
We were
We hadn't
equally
even talked like
attacked,
5
he
minutes.
says,
We
having...
hadn't even talked for like 5 minutes.
I think that's 2 votes to go in, 3 votes to go in.
Well, I mean,
Sure, because I'm the rabbit, I must want to go in the hole, huh?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but I was thinking it.
I was not
Well,
even, now I am.
More importantly, perhaps we can find something that would have made this effort worth our while. Instead of just slaughtering these bandits.
Were we told about the ledger that you found?
Yes.
He found it.
And I gave it to
I
him
took it.
so that he can.
I said that there's probably. I just said this a second ago. You guys were laughing, so I understand.
They're difficult.
There's probably nothing in there that's still on this ledger anyway, so everything there is fair game for us.
Sure. Let's go in, take a look. Is there any indication, any signs around the campground that we could get a feel for campground? That we could get a feel for how many people were living here?
Population 250.
I mean, the campfire is pretty good sized. Then again, the big old hunks of meat that were getting cooked were also pretty good sized. There's no obvious signs of they sleep out here. Make a survival check for me.
Natural one, you die.
Don't survive on the whole fellowship.
We almost didn't survive.
8.
8.
That would be such a Jordan usage of it.
We'll get more.
Yeah.
Can't get
Oh
more
my
if you don't
God.
use it.
Casually doled out fake coin. Just sounds like, oh, lucky penny. It's making the right way up. Fake coin for
It's
me
one of those
today.
like vending machines, you know, you
Yeah.
turn the little crank,
Right.
you get a fake coin.
With an 8, yeah, you know you see some tracks in and out. Unclear to tell numbers. You know, it's obviously not a huge quantity, but as far as whether it was 6 or a dozen, can't really tell.
Sure. I think we take it slow. Maybe wait at the mouth of the log cave. See if we hear anything.
Do we want to try and call out to anyone living there, try to draw them back to the front of the log?
What?
No, we don't want to fake it.
We have the element of surprise. Perhaps we call out to the enemy and alert them.
Thank you. Thank you, voice of the world.
I'll say there's a 5% chance that we decide to do that, but 95% chance that we do not do that.
Is there a? Is anyone in? Do anyone, one of you maybe speak Goblin and can perfectly imitate a Goblin voice down this?
No.
All right, then it's probably out.
Correct. All right.
Is
I
Underground
speak goblin.
But can you imitate the way a Goblin sounds?
If he speaks it,
If you have to think about it, you probably can't.
Yes, I can imitate how a goblin sounds. You hear just the most immaculate goblin noises that you think sound just like a goblin. I don't know if they sound just like a goblin, but you probably think they do.
I didn't know you knew Goblin. Just not that it super matters. It just was not. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so sure, give me a performance roll for.
Wait,
I don't actually want to do this.
We're
I'm
not-
sorry.
Okay.
this is in
Yeah.
vain.
I'm sorry.
It's
This
smart.
is
He's
me
doing the
realizing
bit
that
to show.
This is me realizing that I knew Goblin, and weirdly, we could try this plan, but I don't want to.
I will not cop to
Right.
knowing Goblin.
I mean,
I heard Fate Point crashed by 25% today.
Nah, Bitcoin's up, dude.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
I
Supply is
think-
down.
More reliable
I
than
think
any other NFT.
I think
Fate
25%
coins.
of them are out of existence now.
50%.
50%.
Yeah, this whole
Cool.
side of the table has no more fate.
Have been influenced poorly.
I mean,
All right.
I don't know, Goblin. That sounded pretty good. I feel
Why
I
don't
feel like
you
your
just-
accents might have been coming through a little bit. I don't know Goblin though, so it's hard to tell.
It's the western continent.
Oh, I did not know there were dialects.
I will listen to see if any goblins are coming up the tunnel.
Okay.
I will grab his shoulder before he does, so that we can approach the tunnel quietly.
Good
Go for
call.
the-
I will
go for the
quietly
tunnel.
approach the tunnel and then listen for any signs of
And I will join
intruders.
Sure.
Stealth.
Natural 20 on stealth. We're
19. on
19.
stealth.
Yeah, very quietly, you creep across the open portion of the goblin bugbear camp. And I guess presumably you like sort of come from the side around some of the
Yes.
roots or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just head on.
Walk directly at the tunnel. I am so sneaky.
It's just you said it was a clearing, so we just walked straight to you. We're being
Yeah,
really
just
quiet.
You have to make the piece of pie bigger as you sweep the side. And then
Anyway, we come from the side.
Clearing the room.
Yeah.
The tactics.
Yeah. Okay, so you do quietly approach the opening, sort of the main large roots of the uprooted tree. When you get there, you look around a bit and you see that basically where the roots of the tree and the base of the tree was previously has sort of just been used as the start to a dugout tunnel below. You hear no immediate sounds.
do you want to take a perception check?
You hear no immediate sound.
Period. I thought
That was not.
Can I make a perception check?
Make a
Here.
perception check.
I would like to hear some sounds.
You know what? Roll it. That's what's funny. You hear no immediate sound.
Natural
Natural's
one. You hear no immediate sound.
But you hear them well.
You hallucinate.
Do we want to rest briefly while we wait for whatever happens next year?
No. We're planning on going in and out within a certain span of time.
That's true. An
I'd
hour
rather
feels
not.
allowable.
I want to rest. I think I should want to rest. I don't currently want to rest, but I think I should want to rest. I didn't mark down that I used action surge, but I think I did.
You
You
did.
definitely did.
You definitely fired
I
2
think-
arrows in 1 round.
I was gonna say you either killed 2 goblins or like I think you finished off one of the
I
bugbears
think it
with
was a
action
bugbear.
surge.
I think it was a bugbear.
Or the bugbear.
I am fine taking a break. At
Oh, I
some
marked it
point.
in D&D Beyond. That's fine.
Uh,
We can take rest.
Now,
we could head in.
We talked about waiting. Anyway,
right. Well, we should probably find somewhere that we can stay somewhat concealed, but with an eye on the entrance.
like a pit.
No. We may want to throw all of the bodies into that pit, though. That's a good idea.
Goblins at place. The bugbears. All fit in there.
We might want to just cover them with some brush.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
shall conceal. Also, I guess pat them down, see if they have anything valuable. I know they weren't exactly, decked out in
Sure.
like
Well, they
armor.
were apparently accomplished thieves.
But yeah, I mean, they had stolen, so maybe somebody kept
Highwaymen.
Maybe they had something shiny or something on them. There we go.
Give me an investigation check for the pat down.
Oh, that was actually good. I thought it was bad. Sometimes this dice really throw me for a loop because it's dark on dark. So I see a shape and think it's terrible. 21.
21. Yeah, so as you, one by one, and I'm assuming someone's sort of hanging out, keeping an eye on the mouth of the cave. Okay. So while the 3 of you gather up the goblinoid remains, most of them don't really have much. The short bows are of average make. The arrows that they're using, again, sort of had that sort of homemade quality to them. Functional but unspectacular. The bugbears, one of them had a battle axe, like the double head bladed battle axe, and the other one had a large morning star. They were wearing sort of like tattered leather armors. The bugbear stuff wouldn't really fit any of you guys, and it doesn't look particularly nice. The goblins were a little more in a little closer to rag-ish attire. Sort of like hide armor, pretty rudimentary stuff. None of them seemed to have anything that you could find except one of the goblins had a very shiny stone in his pocket that is immediately obvious to you is a diamond. Just a,
Oh,
yeah.
natural.
And yeah, you can put it. It's a diamond worth 30 gold.
Nice. Cool. Is it cut or is it raw? Or raw diamond. Uncooked diamond.
Raw diamond.
So coal.
You find 30 gold pieces worth of coal, which, as it turns out, is substantially more voluminous than a diamond with 30
He's
gold
got to be
pieces.
down. It's got to be. You gotta reduce it.
Unfortunately, not a time wizard.
Yeah, so
Not
you.
here.
This diamond is cut. I guess. I don't know the usual policy for cut versus uncut gems, but
You get to make
magic
it right
exists,
now.
so I
Yeah,
guess
like,
somebody
you,
can do
you
it.
do know it. You just won't tell us.
He's got a whole 3-page document just on
Look,
cut
they had
gems.
jewelry before we had lasers and stuff.
Exactly.
That's true.
So,
True.
Magic exists.
I'm saying even without magic. I'm saying in the Middle Ages,
with magic.
they had
They managed to
they
do
managed
things
to make
with
jewelry.
gemstones.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, that's about it. Nothing else surprising. None of them carry like coin purses or pouches or anything like that.
That's
So
fine.
no cash money on them.
That's fine.
But yeah, it takes, you spend 5 to 10 minutes getting all those bodies moved over, and
Are there any useful parts from a bugbear or goblin?
not in terms of pelt, like with a wolf. Not anything that would necessarily get you a price on the secondary market. If you were going to starve to death, you could probably like eat them if you needed to. But yeah, not.
What about a taxidermy bugbear head?
I don't know. I mean, some people like some weird stuff. There might be a niche buyer out there who's like, I'm real into just heads of things.
Now we're
There's not a mainstream taxidermy bugbear head market, I will say. At least not that you're aware of. You've not seen a whole lot of the world.
It's more
where
of a
I'm from, there is plenty of those.
Oh man.
All right.
Okay.
We throw them in the pit, and we cover the bugbears with shrubbery.
Sure.
How deep is the pit again? Is it 10 feet?
Like 10 foot.
Spike.
You can fit it
Oh, yes.
Pile of. Oh,
Just stand in there on top of the corpses and be like, let's hide in here until somebody comes looking, and we'll ambush out of the pit.
And just to clarify, we are hiding the corpses so that if a scouting party comes back, they don't know that we were here? Is that okay?
Because we're gonna rest.
All right, just making sure
We don't want people to start looking for us.
to understand the plan.
Okay. So, where relative to sort of the base of the tree are you guys going to rest?
on top of it.
80 feet into the woods, so we have a little bit of visibility to the tree, but they would have to look pretty hard to see us.
It's a good idea.
I like
Okay. So when I originally was like, okay, so the tree is
It's like just beyond partial cover. Oh, and
Sure.
like
so yeah, I guess relative to the opening, right? So the tree fell eastbound.
so we can look
So you'd
into
be-
the opening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Maybe not directly in front of it, but partially into it, right?
I just need a
Even
general
directly
sense
in
of
front of it.
relative
If
to
we're,
the
like, way in
opening.
the forest.
Sure. Yeah. So you guys, after dropping off the bodies, move back into the tree line again, and sit down for a short rest.
Can I get inspiration at my first?
Not yet. I don't think. I think that's a level 6 thing. Or a
That's-
level 3 thing.
I will use my
Double check.
arcane recovery.
Draw 2 cards.
To draw 2 cards.
My deck.
I end my turn.
So I don't, not just before you commit things to paper,
Too late.
about, fair.
Sorry,
Not too much to think about at
I
this point. We
remember
can probably
what my
figure it out.
thing is, but
About 10 minutes into your rest, you do spy another goblin who. So you almost miss him at first, too, because he's short and sort of just at the edge of the hill, so it's not super obvious from, that you're a little ways away. But you hear him just start calling out for the missing companions. I have to sneeze.
That's what he calls out.
I hate you so much. I was so close to it. Damn it. Oh, God
Perhaps we should.
damn it.
It's true that Corinne can actually speak to these things. Maybe it's worth taking them alive and finding out how many more there are left.
sure. Why not?
Kurin, you being able to comprehend Goblin, what you hear is basically is like tantamount to like, where the fuck are you guys? I don't pay you to just run off into the woods and take breaks and kind of just exasperation. They're not back.
How far away is he? Does he?
We said 80 feet into the tree line, so at this point, probably like 110, 120 feet away from you.
Does he actually say the part about not paying them?
In Goblin.
I know. Yes, I just want to make sure like it implies he might be in charge. That's all.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. Like, he's saying something about not paying them.
I was just saying to Relis, perhaps we should keep this one alive. If you can really speak with him, then it's worth asking how many more of them there are.
I mean, I can speak to him. You want to keep him alive?
I have an idea. Give me a moment. I would like to. Can I get within 30 feet of him without leaving the cover?
Not quite.
Okay.
Like I'm to definitely be within range. I mean, even if you're still a little bit in the tree line, at some point it's like, okay, like I can see the first 20 feet of the tree line, right? You could make a difficult stealth check to try and pull it off.
What are you trying to do?
I can make creatures feel a little more comfortable with my presence in general. And it's like we're
Why
all
would you try
friends.
that with us?
Well, I usually only do it on people that don't like me.
You just see like slow blink.
I understood that, mate.
I will make a stealth check to try to get close to this goblin.
Okay.
So you just start like walking
Just like
away from us.
I follow him.
I'm just like I then stay back and just like get my bow ready.
Yeah, I blink a few times as he just starts walking away.
Like
Look
no,
over-
I can make people like me and starts walking away. I'm like,
I look over at Kieran and Kieran say, well, I guess it was a little bit of a rest. And I'll just start following him.
so you look back. And
I won't break the tree line though. I'll stay hidden.
Okay.
We look
within.
back and I am gone 24 on stealth.
24. Not bad. Not bad.
I know what direction you're going.
No,
no,
you don't.
You're not gonna surprise me. You want to bet?
No, you absolutely.
you're not trying to hide your traits.
I don't know where he went.
Okay. You move your way basically to the very, very edge of the tree line, right? Like the last couple of trees, you sort of like get low and try and make sure that you stay behind each of them in turn. And you basically at the last tree, like you're not in the tree line at this point. You're just behind a tree. As far as you can tell, you have not been noticed.
Do I see any other goblins?
Not presently.
Charm person on the goblin.
Okay.
At the same time, I'll use children. And fire. And does he make full second?
Sorry, what kind of save is this?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. That is a 14.
That's not
Is
even.
it? That's it.
Oh gosh.
I'm 0 for 6 on wisdom saves.
Oh, for 6?
Yeah, I have not succeeded on a single wisdom save.
my God.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Man.
Anterra's a brutal place, so everyone's
I will
wise.
sneak back into the woods.
Weird, so is out of the abyss.
Right.
Man.
It's almost like it's the same guy rolling the dice. He's just goaded. He's goaded on the dice.
Look, I can't help that he's got
No.
a +1 wisdom
What?
modifier.
I can't help that you roll good dice.
Yeah, that's true. I could help that.
Any numbers on that side of the screen, you can do whatever.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
can
say.
be like, it's a 36. I don't know. That's what the dice say.
Well, you turn and run.
I rolled a 35 and a 20. The rest of it don't happen.
I will retreat to the woods if I am able to.
Sure.
Does he know you can't? Like, does.
I have to say, so it's verbal and somatic.
How does the spell? I
Yes, give me.
like thematically. I'm just trying to imagine you like sneakily casting charm person, where a person would be like, I think I like this picture, this idea of a.
I hum a low, small tune that usually gives people a sense, like a happy chord that kind of just rings out from
You
all
hum a
space
chord.
around. Yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah. If that happens, I am like Tibetan throat humming. Okay.
And you just shrugged. And
Yeah.
it failed.
Yeah.
Did it say that the creature knows that
Does he?
charm person was cast on them?
Does he like you?
Well, so
Did you?
If the
it
guy looks-
it knows it's charmed.
If
It
it's
was charmed when the
successful.
spell ends, but if it never takes in the first place, I don't think that
Right.
it ever starts.
Okay, Goblin
walk
Boy
back,
lives
I'm
a
just-
little bit longer.
Does he like you?
Yes, but he's very shy.
He looks very.
I'm
shy.
behind him at this point. I'm like,
Sounds very shy.
I think we should kill him for that.
well, that's
being
like,
I fire an arrow. I shoot the thing.
I say, well, that seems pretty
Like
extreme.
he's
And
like
as I see the arrow whiz past me, I like turn around and
Yeah.
he's like we should kill him, and I just
Tune my freaking instrument, like work next
I
time.
across to that, talking to somebody. Well, fuck.
so you see, pew, and then a bolt comes out.
Oh, we're going. Okay.
Make me 3 attack rolls.
It is an attack roll. I don't know why I thought it was a save.
15.
Oh, 24.
Okay.
10.
Uh,
Wait, 9.
9. Okay. Your bolt and your arrow miss. Your
Tough to hit.
your touch. You see the creature sort of like startle for a moment, and is affected by it. So yeah, roll damage.
Oh no.
1 point of damage.
Plus
1 point
Nothing.
of damage.
With the 15 this?
Wait, the total of like just, oh right, there's no modifier.
There's no
'cause it's a-
modifier.
oh jeez.
Yeah, it's just 1 point of damage.
Man, we are ready to adventure.
Our surprise rounds are like test rounds. These 3 attacks, 1 point of damage.
these were warning shots and a cold shoulder.
Warning shot.
There you go.
Cold shoulder.
And next time we won't be. Next time we'll be
Next time we won't be
revenge.
ignored.
A cold shoulder.
Oh my
for the
God.
Cold shoulder that
Exactly.
Fabian got.
Right.
That is amazing.
Okay. I move towards this. Even though we're now 80 feet away, I will also start moving towards the entrance of the tree.
Same.
Okay. So you see this goblin that it has a blade and a sheath at its side currently. Just look out into the tree line and just be like, Who the hell do you think you are?
I'm going to call out, put down your weapons or next time we'll aim for your head in Goblin.
Give me a. I feel like it's a deception check because you were aiming for its head.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
15.
15. All right. It just starts laughing.
I shoot it.
I fire again. Yeah.
All right. Give me one more.
Get him!
Please, I miss.
27.
26.
No, 25.
All right. Hit.
Miss.
Miss. Okay. Give me damage rolls.
3. Eventually, we'll work our way up on the die.
10.
10. Not bad. So it just starts laughing at you. And you loose your arrow and you cast your spell again. And this time, the arrow just like straight into the goblin's chest. And you feel your spell be more effective this time around. And now the laughter stops. And you guys watch as the form of this goblin starts to shift somewhat. And instead of the short, squat little creature that was there, first its jaw starts to like pop out forward into this sort of snarling maw. And he like leans and falls forward and catches on his front hands that become these like large, muscular paws.
Oh,
Not actually particularly wolf-looking, but it does look like
oh, excellent.
this.
Oh boy. Oh.
Oh no, Nogu again.
I think our stream's doing the like brief freeze frame thing again. We're on Wi-Fi right now, aren't we?
We are hardline in, but we might still be on Wi-Fi.
Aha! All right then, I will fix that.
No, we're on hardline.
Yeah, we're hardwired.
You better stream right, or next time we'll aim for the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make an intimidation check.
I'm guessing this is where we roll initiative.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm glad that intimidation didn't matter. Wasn't that one?
Yikes.
Nice. Thank you, Obsidian Die. You're doing so much better today.
I don't know why.
I never expected you to be dispelled twice.
Fast boys over.
Nice.
Fast boys.
Did you do it again too?
No.
But you guys still beat me.
I think I still beat you.
Okay.
Maybe.
Give me
3.
above a 17.
19.
26.
23.
You all act before this creature.
That seems advantageous.
Har.
8.
You do not act before this creature.
That tracks.
All right, sorry. So the highest was Kurun with a 26.
Yes,
Or
sir.
I'm sorry, 24.
Oh, you beat me by 1.
Yeah, bad math.
19.
19. So Kurun, Kier, Rallos. Gotta remind myself of this guy's name.
The only thing that's unfortunate about
Oh, yeah,
also
that's not
playing
bad.
Valoric is that I can't get plus 15 to my initiative roll. Bro,
Okay.
Chronothurgy wizards are nuts.
Crazy.
I believe it.
It is
I believe it.
busted.
It's so fun.
Okay, so this creature starts bounding into the forest towards you. What do you guys do?
I fire at it again. I say, I said, put down your weapons or whatever this is. I fire at it again.
Okay. So yeah, just give relative spacing because you were 80 feet into the tree line, and then this thing started like 30 feet from the tree line because that's where he originally cast his spell from. So
50 feet between.
what?
50 feet between us?
What part of the math of that would make sense?
Thirty
No,
feet
so
from the tree.
he's at the tree line, right? And I'm 80 feet in.
You're 80 feet into the tree line,
Yeah.
and where he started was 30 feet away from the edge of the tree line.
Sure.
So
So I'm
110 feet.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
was just like, how did you get that close?
so I got 24 to hit.
24 hits.
We also said we were running forward, right?
I mean, 5 points of damage.
That's like I was moving forward for sure. Because I was, yeah. You might now, in retrospect, I wish I had it. I know. I didn't think he would run it, but I definitely said I was moving towards the tree line. So only.
Sorry, how much damage was it?
5 points.
5 more points of damage. Yeah, you land another arrow into its now very muscular-looking canine-esque shoulder.
Just straight back.
Back again? No.
Drop weapons.
Yeet. All right, Kier, you're up second.
Shooting a crossbow ball at it.
Crossbow bolt,
Hey, that was good. 21.
21 hits.
Fortunately, it's sneak attack, but that's.
Oh, man. Okay.
Running it. Don't you hear me?
I will take a 10 points of damage. Though.
Okay, and I'm going to leave the first 19 points of damage because I forgot that this thing has damage resistance to magical attacks. So,
my arrows made of pure silver.
no. So this
My
is
arrows
hit
are
for
magic?
5. Yeah, so your bolt lands and deals. No, not quite as effective as you had hoped for such a good shot. Anything else, Kier?
There. Here. That's it.
If you like walk straight in front of me, I'll be like, "Hey, get
Right, exactly.
sidestep." Thanks.
Yep.
Okay, Ralos.
So I'll once again like go into the stance where I draw my blade like very smoothly and like ceremoniously, and after that I'll look down at this guy and I'll just say, "Well, you're just absolutely terrifying, aren't you?" And I'll reach out and once again just cast Chill Touch.
Okay.
Like the spectral hand to like scruff him basically.
All
Does
right.
that reduce his move speed?
No, it makes him attack me with disadvantage. Ice Bolt or something.
Isn't this what like a healing clause or something too? I thought.
Yeah, something like that. It's only against undead though.
Right.
15.
15 does not hit at this point. Like you fire, send out your spectral hand, but at this point, the way it's bounding, it's almost like doing these like leaps to the side, back and forth, almost in this serpentine type pattern, and it narrowly avoids your spell.
And I'll just give it a response to it missing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so the creature is going to take its 60 feet of movement towards you.
Sure.
Can you?
So it'd be like 20 feet from us. Just have him 20 feet away from.
No, he would get to me. If he moved 60 feet, he would get to me.
Oh, were you 60 feet?
Well, I moved towards the tree line. We were
Did you
80
move
feet.
back
We were
when I
80
was
feet in. No, I didn't move back. We were
So-
80 feet in. I had moved up probably 30, so he could get to me.
So it'd be like there.
Sure.
Did you move up with them, or were you
He
still
did,
in that?
but he moved back on his turn.
Yeah.
I did not move back.
Okay. So the creature rapidly approaches you, comes up, and just comes across with its claws. You're just the only person I can ever crit. It's just you. It is just you.
Well,
Making sure to
That's
ignore
not-
that armor.
yep.
So it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, I'm tanky from an AC perspective, guy. I'm down.
It is a total of 12 damage.
I'm down.
Okay.
You just crunched me.
All right.
I can have 25 AC. I cannot block a natural 20.
Dude, get more AC.
Evidently.
It wasn't even the blood ruby one that just like was out to kill you guys when it was the undead. Okay. Fortunately, that is all that the creature can do, and we are to Fabian. You just watch this thing move at like Ralos tier speeds and come up and just rake across his body and tear into him.
Oh, bye.
I will look at him and yell in infernal. The lives of those who harass innocent travelers is forfeit, and I will cast vicious mockery at him.
Okay.
It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. This time it is a 12.
Okay, that is fail.
Okay.
Disadvantage on his next attack and takes 3 points of psychic
Disadvantage is going to be good. Sorry, 3 points of psychic damage?
Correct.
Okay. It does not resist that and takes the 3 points. Okay.
I am going to give. Kier, you see what I did there? Well, you probably
You
didn't.
talk to it a bit?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you probably did.
Say what I said. It seemed to have an effect, and I will give you inspiration, and then I will run over here to my boy, and I will prepare to protect him on the next turn.
Okay. Sounds good. Kurin, we're back to the top with you.
I will take another arrow shot.
Okay.
23.
23 absolutely hits.
Ugh, 5 points of damage.
5 more points. Okay.
I will. Hop over here.
You did 5 before when I reduced it, right? Or
Damage?
you would have done 10?
I was in 10.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to keep cutting straight back.
Okay. All right. Kier.
Against my better judgment. I'll charge in and take both my weapons out and go for it.
Okay.
Double 13s for a total of 19 each.
While he's unconscious, I don't.
This is an advantage. Each one attack each.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yep. No. Sorry. What were the numbers again?
19.
19 hits.
Okay. Or 19 and 18. Okay.
Those both hit.
Okay. And then I don't get sneak attack. I do get 6 plus 4, 10 plus 3. No, just 10. 10 total.
You get your modifier for the first one, don't you?
Yeah, so that's the 2 plus 4 is 6. 4 more for the offhand.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I saw the other die sitting in there too, and see if that was part of it. All right. 10 total?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you go up and just lance across the shoulder, stab in with the dagger for some solid damage, and you have captured its attention.
Sir, please do not hurt me.
I respectfully request, please don't end me.
I request a polite exchange of blows, not calling. Thank you.
Ralos.
Just say.
Central one?
No.
Oh, fuck.
You just-
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh,
Who doesn't have their heal? I know.
that is wild. Okay.
It is to the creature.
Yes, it is. And yeah, it is going to turn and try and bite you, Kier. With disadvantage.
Because the wizard's thing?
For a total of 13.
That is one too small.
One too small. Okay. Yeah, so you. Yeah, well, wasn't expecting the blows that you just landed on it, and it lunges out and tries to bite at you. But, you know, like I don't know, you cut something in the shoulder and its neck didn't move quite right and it couldn't find purchase with its teeth.
Let me feel.
I could find purchase for 30 gold.
True.
Okay. Fabian.
How does DM inspiration work again?
DM inspiration is I would like to have advantage on a thing I'm about to do, so I'm going to cash it in, and I'm going to have advantage.
I would like to have advantage on a medicine check to stabilize Relos.
Okay.
How's Relos?
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Oh, she's 21.
21. Yeah, you basically just like you see the open wounds across his chest, and just one of them in particular, even just in the few seconds since this happened, is just spurting, and you just reach in and just clench your hand around whatever could be doing that in this wound, and just start holding on for dear life.
Let's
Hit
go.
an artery.
And you are stabilized.
That is fortunate. You roll the 20 and turn just to see what happens.
Okay. I mean, I'll do it now.
For science.
I have at least one more.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
I was like, surely that die doesn't nat one 2 times. in a
Nicely
row.
done, Fabian. Corin, we're back
Thanks,
to you.
Robert.
Shoot an arrow.
Inspo.
12.
12 does not hit, very unfortunately. Anything else?
Hop back.
Okay, your range is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Longbow.
Do the bunny hop, 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 hop. Kier,
2 more attacks.
you got it.
The main hand 20 to hit, and
Yes.
with the offhand a 14 plus 5, 19 to hit.
Both hits.
Okay.
Nice. That's
Love to see it.
A 6 plus 2, 8 total damage.
8 more damage.
Must have stabilized him if it's threatening, which I don't think it is.
I mean, no, at this point, technically, or no, he's stable, he's not conscious. That's what I was
Yeah, no,
forgetting.
Yes.
Yep.
He doesn't just wake me up.
Right.
It's like, look at him!
Defibrillate.
Don't worry,
Amazing art.
don't worry. I'm holding your artery shut so you don't bleed to death. Keep fighting, will ya?
I tried talking to him, but it seemed to work. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, nicely done. Ralos, nothing for you to do this round.
Indeed.
The creature's turn again. And it is going to turn to you and speak plainly in common. Sorry. That's the wrong thing. Sorry, the spell book thing is not useful sometimes.
We're gonna kill him.
Ralos?
You should leave. It's in this deep, guttural, snarling voice. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Get it.
Though, actually, I think you have...
He's just cocked. Oh, it's so fairly cocked. But I've re-rolled good rolls like that.
Yeah, you're good. It's all good karma for re-rolling.
I mean, it was definitely cocked. Was it the same roll?
It's one better, but still terrible.
Do you still have a fake point?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we got? Are we fate coining?
How rough does he look?
Looks pretty bloody at this point.
I'm gonna save it.
Gonna save it?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
7.
Oh, 7. Okay.
Definitely.
You are most certainly suggested, and you should leave.
Suggested. Great. Okay.
Oh boy.
This is fine.
That's something with something
See you in
else.
8 hours.
Is this
Alright.
something that you would likely do?
No.
I don't know. It seems
You
like
start leaving, he takes the attack of
I
opportunity.
mean, I hope so.
Against
Because then he breaks it, or
You're not getting
Well, you have to
advantage if
take
you're-
damage.
Don't you get advantage on that if you're
You know, it's if you or any of your. So I reread it, and no, not this one. It's
it's
not
not
if possible. I assume that's for Charm Person and some of the
Yeah.
other ones,
Suggestion.
but I just reread it to make sure
it
that it
just
would.
has to be something that he could
Interesting.
presumably want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's It's
Are you immune to charm or anything like that before? Okay.
I'm not.
it is weirdly just like so much better than Trump.
So
Yeah.
It is
I mean,
incredible.
leaving isn't something I would do traditionally, but considering I just saw this creature one-shot Ralos, I may be considering, leaving from the perspective of, I don't want to,
I mean,
fight
literally,
this
it's
guy?
just you must be worded in a manner such as to make the action sound reasonable.
I don't think it's unreasonable, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that's a spell.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to fight this thing. Maybe I think I will leave.
I think I'll just go. Okay. So that is its turn, and we're back to Fabian again.
I will once again yell at it, and I'm literally clamping an artery shut on you. So I'm just gonna yell out in.
You have sneak attack, right?
I do. You're not. I see you've engaged with it.
I mean, leaving and this thing's still my enemy.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he wants
He
to
is
leave
still
at this
engaged?
point, but right now,
Oh.
yeah.
okay.
I'd say
yeah,
so.
In that case, I will attack with 2 weapons fighting.
Get him.
Do you could move around and flank, right?
He doesn't, or no, I guess he does want that because it's still advantage also on top of the sneak attack bonus.
Yeah,
If
you
you-
definitely want advantage on your
Yeah.
attack.
All right, first attack. Oh my gosh! Wow. 13
13 is not going to do it.
offhand.
Terrible rolls. Like
Nine.
actually,
Oh my
so
God. How?
incredibly
1, 4, 8,
bad.
or 1, 4, 4, 5.
Oh my god.
Is that all the spell dice?
Yep.
Those were, yeah.
God, will you borrow these, please?
No.
Just like,
Nope.
please.
If we die, we die. All right, that's.
That's been the secret plan all along. I haven't actually prepped anything. I just needed to kill you before we got anywhere too big for me to have to commit
That
to
would be an
prep.
effective way.
Okay. You're still your hand basically, what you just had to do to save Ralos's life was jarring, and you made these attacks, but it just wasn't enough. Its hide is just a little too tough. Corin.
Arrow. 16.
16.
Wait now.
16 is just not enough.
Oh.
Gosh.
17 is the magic number.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, do we want to show the battle map?
Oh yeah, we could probably do that. Da-da. Unparalleled production quality. Look at our cluster of minis that are all laying, and Kurin is nowhere.
Under the camera.
Is under the
It's
camera.
off the map.
Yep, you made a character whose whole thing is off the map.
Yep.
That's it. The map is not big enough for you. Oh my gosh.
Longbow.
Yep, longbow. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Kier, it's your turn.
Just look at this thing. Like, I'll be back for you. And then I still turn around, and where's the road?
So I think you guys were.
It'd be like
It'd be this way because the base of the tree and like the tree fell towards me, so the opening is pointed
yeah.
towards you guys.
I had the scene in my head enough to remember where the road probably was.
You also, so as long as you leave and move away, like I don't think it's not the only thing. It's not like leaving isn't the only thing you're capable of doing. You could be running away and drink a health potion as long as you're still leaving.
Yeah.
So
Look at the shot.
You can
yes.
actually shoot at him.
That is what I was gonna say. Yeah.
That had not occurred to me. I will definitely do that.
Okay,
Um,
parting shot.
I wish that was that cool.
Maybe he should have said leave and don't shoot.
That is a 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
I guess. And I get sneak attack.
Hope this is good damage.
Yeah, sure. Well, I get sneak attack, so it should at least be better. Although I guess that.
Wow!
Wow!
You're gonna do one whole damage.
You
to
know,
this guy.
somebody give me the most notorious
5 total.
dispel die, please.
You
I
don't
don't
even
know
spell
about
that.
that. I don't know that.
It's not.
No, I need to use it because I'm about to roll a concentration check.
Guess I hit him then.
No, it's one of
well,
yours.
so that's
Hold on, let me get the 1.
Yeah.
It's
know.
not even out.
I know
It's
the
not
one.
even out.
Where is it?
I
I
mean,
think you took it.
Is
how
it
are
that
your
red
feet,
one?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just
Just laying under the table.
Yeah.
The rolls
My
started
my,
turning
my,
all
my
over
legs
the
were
place.
under the chair. I like
Upside
use them just to
Once in a
neutral, and I
while
like
it's
to-
okay, but this will be the once in a while that it's okay.
Yeah.
The
But
it's
it's fine
supposed to
'cause
be
you can't
advantage
crit
die.
on this.
That's true.
If he was rolling an attack, it would
Rolled a
be-
9, so he gets an 11, which is going to be enough to
Yep.
keep concentrating through your damage. But your damage was how much total?
See,
5 total?
To still be a single digit.
Yeah.
Get 2 dispelled.
Got 2 points of damage.
Still not good enough to
Uh,
roll well.
No, so
But
I
spiteful enough to
110% balance this encounter around its AC and H people, and not you guys doing half or less than half damage. So
Yeah.
it's not resisting anything anymore
Okay.
because that would be dumb.
I mean,
Because I thought this would be a challenging
So you're
encounter. I
saying-
wasn't determined to kill
So
you.
you're saying my arrows are made of silver?
Sure.
But only the ones
It's
I
one
fire
of
this
those-
combat.
It's one of those things.
And you
where-
can't get them back.
Yes. A 4v1 combat, you're like, oh, there's a world where we just annihilated.
And when it starts with a nat 20 on the person who has consistently been dishing out the most damage to things up to this point, that also changes the equation a little bit. But yeah,
I've been hitting the most things.
right.
that's
He's
true.
been dealing the most damage.
Fair.
You hit for like.
But yeah, no,
10
that's why I
plus.
asked because I put
I don't
the
have
5
near
back
it.
on that I had
Oh,
reduced
okay.
before.
Oh.
Yeah, at this point, this thing has got like 4 or 5 arrows in it. You've slashed it multiple times. It is
It's got a bolt through its pinky toe.
right, like it's still muscular and
It's not
moving, but it's looking pretty bloody at this point. All right, Ralos again. That's going to be a skeep. Now it is back to Kroll. And it is going to turn to Fabian
Yeah.
That's fine.
and make an attack roll.
Yep.
Cutting words.
Cutting words.
Natural 1.
There we
I
go.
rolled the dispel dice. All right, you can have this back now. It did its thing.
It did its job. At least it's consistent.
It
Right.
is consistently terrible.
Dispel dice. Endangering a party and then saving it.
Yeah. So the bolt that Kier fired, like as it lunged forward to try and bite you, the bolt just nails it in the arm, and it's just like someone kicks your leg out from under you, and just like it just misses off to the side and does not bite you. And Fabian, you are up.
I will infernally growl at it. I'll just say, when we're finished with you, not even the ground will be happy to have new nutrients. And I'll cast Vicious Mockery.
I like that. Very infernal.
Natural 2,
Nice. 3 points of psychic damage.
3 points of psychic damage, and disadvantage on the next attack roll
Nice.
will be clutch. Yeah, nicely done. Cool. Anything with bonus action or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Snipe. Arrow.
14.
Man.
No.
Yeah, you fire.
17 is hard to hit.
Right.
It's amazing that you hit it as consistently as you can from that far away.
Yeah.
This one, like, contacts and just skids off, though. Hits at a weird angle and doesn't actually pierce. Kier,
It's too hard to
you
fire.
continue leaving.
Not as a big aim.
And I'll shoot another arrow too.
Okay.
It's just Fabian 1v1.
I got
Everybody's leaving. Fabian's just 1v1ing it.
You're dying. I'm in the woods with this tree.
It's just like super quiet.
Yeah.
I missed 12 to hit.
12. Yeah, no good. At this point, you're like leaving, but you're turning to shoot, and it's just a weird angle, and you're still moving away. And there's not a like continued save for this one.
Nope.
Okay, so you're about 60 feet away at this point. We're back around to Kroll, who's going to again make an attack at Fabian with disadvantage.
I dare him.
That is a
Hits.
natural 11 and 12
Hits.
plus 6 for a total
Absolutely
of 17.
hits. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You're going to take 6 points of piercing damage from this bite.
This is fine. We're good. This is fine.
Seems like it.
Yeah, we're good.
This is so okay. We're good.
And after biting into you, it lets go and says, "Now you're speaking my language in Infernal to you." And it is your turn, Fabian.
Even more upset that a creature like this would like speak to me in a language that I can understand. Like this would. Exactly. Just gonna back in front of the dozens of lives a petty criminal like you had ended. A second of their life would be worth more than 100 years of yours. And I will cast Vicious Mockery again.
Okay. Natural 1, not on a dispel dice.
It's the same. 1.
but that disadvantage is pretty
It did
big.
nothing for you.
It did. Yep.
Okay. Back to the top. Corin.
Arrow.
You don't
19.
say.
19. Okay.
Woo.
Oh, yes.
12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. 9 plus 2 is 11, which is enough to beat a 12-point concentration save.
Yeah.
Just
Go
barely
over
maintains it.
It's going to
So,
be over 20 damage for it to be anything more than that.
sorry, so you said 12 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
He ain't losing concentration.
I will not
until he
move
dies.
back anymore.
Are
I
you
moved
sure?
5 feet.
I have reached my range.
There's a red line at the other side of the
Just wait till level 4.
There's a weird shimmery glamour thing that pops up. You feel like you can't move further away than this for some reason.
I am very aware of my limits, and it is right here. I'm like, if I take even one more step back, I'm gonna be way less likely to hit this thing.
The imagery of this is also great. Fabian's just like, you look like shit. He's like, oh yeah? Yeah, well, I'm gonna hit you.
It's just the two of them, your body, and just an arrow every 6 seconds. What? Stop it!
He's like, I'm
Oh my
gonna
God.
kidding.
Okay.
Oh, it's fine.
Sorry, so that was great. Kier.
This is the last shot where he's not going to be disadvantaged on the crossbow.
Okay.
That will hit, though. That's going to be, I think it'll hit, yeah. 18 to hit,
18 hits.
and 7 points of damage.
7 more points.
Really low on that damage again.
Yeah, a good amount of damage. The concentration remains. I rolled a natural 17 this time. And it doesn't even have like a crazy con or anything. It just
Doesn't
has
matter.
rolled just enough each time.
He just has to have over 10.
Because he's got,
Right.
55% chance to succeed that, right? Or
Right.
more than that, probably.
60% chance to be successful.
Yeah.
Okay, but good damage though. I mean, pretty solid parting shots. And we're back again to Kroll. And in Infernal, you hear him say, "I'm getting very tired of that." And this creature disappears from in front of you. And appears over very near Kurin.
Ooh.
What amount of near?
D-door near? Or?
D-door near.
Oh!
Is it 120 feet?
Do you know what it has though? It's disadvantage.
There's 120
Yours
feet.
500.
Oh, wow. We can get
Yeah,
there.
D-door's super far.
Yeah.
What it doesn't have is the ability to also attack this round. So, Fabian.
How far away are you, Corinne?
150 feet.
150? Okay, well,
155, because you're on the other side of the creature that he
Yeah.
moved exactly 150 feet away
how
from.
far is Vicious Mockery's range?
Like
I think 60.
Gosh.
Maybe 30. Probably
Alright.
60.
Well, if you have a bow,
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get out the short
Yeah.
bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I will shoot it at disadvantage. Just an infernal, just yell.
How many sons? How many daughters? Miss.
Natural 2.
okay, yeah, not gonna connect. Corin, this creature has just blinked out and appeared right in front of you.
I hate when you all do this. I will put my bow, I'll just sort of like loop my bow over me, pull out my machetes,
Okay.
and make a pair of attacks against it.
Okay.
Uh, 14, natural 20.
Nice.
Woo!
Second roll was hot.
Huge.
But I don't add my modifier to offhand, right?
Correct.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
That's probably
Yeah, the first swing goes a little high. The second one cuts up under the neck pretty good, and it is bleeding heavily, but snarls and is still kicking.
So I'm going to move around it.
Make a concentration check for that.
Roll a 10.
That didn't pass.
Yeah, we'll stay here.
Okay,
Just move around it.
Anybody?
you got it.
Is it
Here.
gone? He hasn't attacked yet. Jordan.
Continue leaving.
Is it on his next?
I think it's on his next.
Next attack.
Oh.
Off the map.
Cracked.
So that's the next two of us this turn.
All right. It is going to try and make a bite attack against Kurin.
Okay.
At disadvantage for a total of 14.
Miss.
14 misses. All right. Again, it's hacked up. It is pierced in like 8 different places at this point.
I don't know
You
why
good?
that was so bad.
Moving is
Poor
difficult.
influence. Difficult terrain.
Yeah, difficult terrain. Yeah, it lunges out, and again, you just too quick on your feet, and you're able to just hop just far enough to the side to dodge it.
Sure.
And Fabian is up.
I believe I'm in short bow range now.
I actually forgot. I do have.
15, 16, 17, 18. Nope, still disadvantage. That's right. I'm gonna dash.
Okay. Dash successfully completed. And we're back to the top with Corin.
I'm going to make a pair of attacks with the machetes again.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so this in my head was the first roll, so it's crit on the offhand and a hit on the main hand.
How do you want to finish off this bar guest?
Yeah.
Yeah, so as it so it popped up in front of me, and I made a pair of attacks. Only one landed, and then it tried to make an attack, and it just it was in its own head, wasn't able to. And so after it misses, I just sort of do this flourish around it where I sort of spiral and just and slash through its neck on 3 different angles.
Going full Captain Levi on it. I love it.
But yeah.
Attack on Titan. One of the ones is super
Oh.
good with the swords and just
Yeah.
carves them up. That's sweet. All right. After your flurry of attacks with your blades, the Barghest falls where it previously stood. And once again,
A Barghest?
quiet takes the forest. I assume that's how it's said. I think
That's
that's how it's
I think that's a thing in Malazan. Which is interesting.
That would make sense.
I start stealthing back, not knowing if the creature's dead or the concentrated.
Fair, right. The imperative to leave disappears at this point.
Corin, you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Is Rallis and Fabian, are they all right?
Oh, I'm fine, but I will check on.
Well, you're asking, so.
Right. I'll check on. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that, and then I'm just gonna look back at this thing and just take the machete and into its neck for good measure.
Really
And
make
then
sure it's dead. Yeah.
Start heading over.
Okay. The creature is dead.
The best kind of death.
I think he's still breathing.
Worst kind being undead.
But I don't have any way to give him any energy.
I'll come over and double check, but I would find that he is still stable.
Yeah.
We didn't get health potions, right?
Correct.
We have
Okay.
no form of healing
Yeah.
now.
Okay. So, yeah, Fabian, you're the first one who gets back to Ralos,
Yeah.
and it's weird because it's almost you know basic medicine and how to tend to a wound, but not even you're sure exactly how you stopped whatever source of that bleeding was.
Right.
Who knows if the magic in the fingers that play your instruments had something to do with it, but the previously extreme blood loss has seemed to slow down dramatically, and Ralos seems stable, albeit still certainly unconscious. Roll a d4 for me, Ralos.
4 hours, baby. 4 hours.
It's a 4.
4 rocks fall and you're dying again.
4 death saves, please.
I bet if we make him not stable and then stabilize him again.
we might be able to speed
That's
this up.
exactly how a defibrillator works.
Exactly. Just
Just hurts him a little bit, and then sometimes he wakes up.
right.
I get back.
You're not wrong.
But
You
yeah,
ain't right, but
that's
you're not
fair.
wrong.
It's dead then. I would hope.
Yeah.
But no,
The creature.
he's stable. He's just asleep.
No, well, okay, good. He's not dead, but I was talking about the hairy werewolf
The
thing.
goblin.
Got it.
Yes.
The goblin's dead.
I don't.
All right.
I don't think it was no goblin I've ever seen.
It was a goblin, and it wasn't a goblin. It's dead now. It's a
We'll figure
vulture food
And
now.
we have no other healing, right?
it out. Not until tomorrow.
If I
I have bandages. I don't know if I have.
Just kind of look back at if I look back, is there anything left here? What's the remains look like at this point?
Looks like the very much cut up, shredded remains of that quadrupedal creature that's on the mini.
And we don't have time or resources to make it into that tunnel.
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, if based on what we've done here, and if we take a bit of a breather, I think Rahenna will grant me the ability to heal him once more. But we need to take some time.
But she'll only do that if you wait an hour.
And
It seems
we waited 10
really
minutes.
arbitrary.
Well, I mean, enough time to say a few prayers. Maybe 50 minutes.
She
we
could,
started
can't
already.
you just
Start picking
take
up.
being dead for, and say more prayers later tonight.
Well, I have no what's the word? Holdings for me to loan from.
You don't have good divine credit.
Correct.
What have you been doing for all this time then?
I mean, what we've done so far, I've managed to at least get this far.
What's your cleric credit score?
On a scale of 1 to 20, about to 1.
I see. I thought you were at like a 740.
No, that's that's my fantasy character you're thinking of.
Right. You always did like those tabletop games.
Those tabletop tax theft collectors, mortgage simulators.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take him all the way back to the road. I think we need to wait here for a bit.
And we make a bit more distance from the camp so that if
I don't know if you guys understand what's going. Like he's almost dead.
No, he's fine.
I can fix him, we just need to.
Seems like it'd be safer back on the road.
I mean, we
Well,
have to.
you know that there's a bunch of corpses on the road, right?
So go.
There's fewer corpses here.
Then we're more likely to run into trouble while we're moving than if we stay hidden.
If we move him, we don't have a stretcher. We don't have any way to keep him safe while we move him. We just need to let him.
Last thing I want to do is drop him on a rock.
You know, there's pits here, spikes.
Oh my god.
It's okay. Let's just move it very carefully and just over a pit.
Just we don't do it stealthily.
If there's anything else like
We
that,
can't fail.
We're very loud. We can't fall into
fail.
pits if we're being really loud. They're really shy.
if there's anything else like that is coming back here, then this isn't.
We can move more back into the forest, but we can't drag him through all this forest.
I mean, how many hours was it back from the road?
It was a couple hours.
Let's.
It would definitely be less time for you to rest long enough to get your spell slots back.
I'm gonna try like pulling him back, just far enough so that we're sort of heavily obscured from the goblin encampment.
I'm not really
Sure.
worried about keeping eyes on it at this point, just sort of maximizing our ability to hide.
Yeah. And then I'm going to try to, arrange stuff as best I can to sort of, or honestly, just finding a good spot that we're well hidden.
Yeah, you find a nice little copse of trees that are tucked close together and sort of make sure that you're all positioned behind them relative to where the felled tree is.
Sure. And then I think we just take a break, take a breath, and let him pray enough that he can heal him.
Did I cast Fairy Fire in the goblins?
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not crazy. Okay.
All right.
Well,
for now,
Difficult.
that'll be fine. Just watch your back. We're back.
All right.
There's things around here.
Okay. So, as you all take a short rest, we will take a short rest. And we'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but not actually a short rest. That would be an hour.
Right,
back in
it's true.
10, like,
It's true.
short.
We gotta
Don't
be a
speak
little.
too soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very long
But
short
we-
rest. It'll be a shorter.
one of us knows catnap. It's fine.
Right.
Next time they're what?
And we're back.
It's
The short rest, 10-minute abbreviated. We catnapped. We did it.
Yeah.
We catnapped while you guys. And in this time, you successfully complete a short rest.
Let's go.
You know,
Right.
I bet if I had to, I could fire twice in 6 seconds.
But you're
If I had to.
4 hour.
if I had to, I could cast a spell.
True.
So like it's not like you did nothing.
Different strokes for different folks.
Bard is D6, correct? Am I crazy for thinking that?
It is nice that at a certain
Yeah,
point
that's right.
in this group, there will be enough worthwhile things on a short rest so that it won't feel like a waste of time for like one person.
Bard is-
You're probably the most likely, but you still get the short rest wizard spell refresh thing once per day. So that's still pretty solid.
Yeah.
So like if
Like,
you ever
it's-
do multiple short rests, he'll start to feel short.
But I don't know that we've ever done 2 short rests in a day.
No.
Not to say we can't.
True.
But
Or not. We absolutely will, but we haven't yet.
There's just no reason to. And again, Out of the Abyss is a very unique campaign. There was no reason to like short rest more than once,
Right.
without it being like Omega Troll to short rest more than one
yeah,
time.
just like every
Yeah, it's just like
short rest, fight something. Short rest. It's like 2 minutes.
it would be really like Power Game Troll would be the only way it would have made sense.
We would like to take a long rest, and if we get an hour into that, we would like to take the benefits of a short rest. We're actually going to take a 9-hour nap if we have to.
I would like to check the Barghast for anything interesting, either equipment that it might have, if it has any, or if it
Super dumb.
or if there's like any useful gallbladders or livers inside of it.
Sure. So, as far as belongings, whatever it had on it when it was in goblin form is part of this form now, which is not uncommon for some, polymorph-esque type spells, or like a druid's wild shape, that sort of thing. So no belongings to speak of. That said, so I don't know if you would necessarily know. I guess make an intelligence check for me, because I know that I've said it's a Barghast at this point, and I know that Caleb knows. I don't know if you would have 10. Yeah, I think that this would be a new creature to you.
Okay.
That said, if you want to sort of start hacking in and see if its anatomy kind of matches what you'd expect out of a more mundane canine-esque quadruped, we could do that if you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's do a nature check for this one.
Absolute psycho.
20.
Psycho
It's
killer.
pretty good.
Just cut this thing up, baby. Let's see what's inside. I love the context. It's like, oh, it's a Barghast. Okay, This makes sense. I don't know what this is. Let's chop it up.
Just finished. Just back to a goblin.
Oh, you guys are
This
like
got a lot more disturbing.
You guys are like healing Rallos.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure he's okay and everything. You look over and I'm just like,
There's entrails flying.
Some of the tests.
Some Sweeney
you
Todd
see him
soundtracks
go-
playing in the background.
You see him go. Just lassos an intestine onto a branch.
So as you cut it open, sort of looking through, presumably the chest cavity and everything, right? Like some parts look familiar and to be in the right place, but some things are just different. There's extra stomachs and just things that aren't really in line with other beasts that you would have had occasion to carve up. Yeah, like you're not. I'm sure you've probably encountered some fiendish creatures in your past. I don't know if there's anything necessarily about its biology that would straight point to that, but at the very least, it is clear that this isn't just another beast. This is something a little more monstrous.
I'm gonna clean my machetes on its fur.
Okay.
Sort of put everything away and go back to the rest of the group.
Okay.
It's like while all that was going on, we could have gotten Morales back up.
Yeah, when you approach your companion's, Morales is sitting up at this point and conscious again.
What would you have done to heal me? Because that seems like that would have been fun.
Oh,
Well,
sorry.
I would have, as we were sitting there resting, I probably would have been sort of in a meditative state, just sort of holding my holy symbol, which I prepared, and was sort of like that. Ooh. And then as
It actually looks really great on camera too. It's pretty good.
It
Yeah.
does.
oh yeah, being on a paper-like thing, that makes sense, I guess.
So sick.
And then after we finish, I'm going to sort of take that holy symbol. Normally, it's just hanging on my belt. By like these chains here are actual chains. These chains are actually part of the metal. This whole part is actually one metal piece, and then these chains are actual physical chains.
Gotcha.
I'm having someone definitely related to me work on a nicer edition, but until then, and I'll lay my
Thanks, Margot.
yeah, I'll just lay my hands on Ralos' chest and say, "Rise, Ralos. There are rights yet to wrong, or wrongs yet to right."
I knew it!
He was
I've been
evil,
revealed.
stabs him.
My name,
You start losing life again. The
my name,
bleeding starts.
my name is Shazak. Shit.
2 arrows hit you.
Wow, action starts right off the bat. There are wrongs yet.
Just never met a Shazix that's not evil.
Alright. There are wrongs yet to right, and your story does not end here. And I'll heal you for
12 points of damage.
5.
Nice. Where are you looking?
My eyes are just closed as my hands are just sort of on your chest.
Okey-dokey. 5 points of healing.
Yeah, so the huge gashes seal up. Any bit of slowed bleeding comes to a full stop at this point. And you are conscious.
As I get my wits about me, just do like a... That was horribly unpleasant. I look at Kier. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We all did good today. Getting rid of the goblins, but whatever that thing was.
I did a good job of taking however many pounds that was straight to the skull.
At least 5.
I turn and look
What
to...
is that wrong?
I turn and look to Fabian and in Infernal say, "You killed that bastard, didn't you?"
Yeah, well, we did. I think the rabbit had the last trail.
Just nod.
We can just we speak so that we can have some conversations.
As I walk back. That thing had your number.
Yes, evidently it had only need for one number. Its
Turns
fist
that
to my
number is
skull.
26.
Usually, I like rub my head a little bit. Usually, I'm a little bit harder to hit than that.
You seemed more graceful fighting zombies. Hopefully you can keep up better.
Well,
You're alright.
I'm fine. You're okay? You didn't get a cramp or anything running the other direction, did you?
That's a weird joke about No. You got him back up.
Yes, I did.
Sure.
Thanks.
Glad you're all over.
We want to go back into the woods, set up camp for the day.
I can't imagine that there's anything else in there. I'm being honest, that is what I thought the first time. As we killed all of the goblins. It may be as good of a place as any for us to set up camp.
We haven't seen anything in the hour though.
It's been quiet since.
No, probably empty if the boss came out here so long ago. No one's come out, well, really no one's come out to slack off, right? But no sense in it'll all still be here in the morning.
Yes, but this is a fairly fortified location, more or less. There's only one way towards us.
We'd rather camp in the lodge.
Precisely. It's all the same. It's either wilderness or something under or over our heads.
We're just
If you all are feeling up for it, we can go in and check it out.
sure. I
Seems like well-earned shelter.
I would agree. I'll lead the group in. I can see pretty well down there.
Who else I can?
All right. I'll take the rear.
Going
Okay.
in.
All right.
And once again, ask me for your healing spells.
Give me a group stealth check.
I didn't say reply.
Why? There's nothing in there. Love it.
Unless you would like to make plenty of noise on the way in.
Oh my gosh!
I think we.
How does this I think we would like to make plenty of noise.
Not a natural one.
18.
Same.
18,
7.
7,
8.
8,
27.
27. Okay.
Natty 20 or?
Natty 20.
Okay, that's so double win.
I like where your head was at.
So, you guys creep in the front of this tunnel entrance, and while you ended up with a relatively moderate / average group stealth check, it becomes pretty apparent after venturing not too far into the tunnel that it would be irrelevant. It's basically a tunnel that ends up splitting into like 3 fingers, I guess, 3 other subsections of tunnel. It's not incredibly deep. It's deep enough that, there were, 8, 9-ish creatures living down here. But it's quiet. You find makeshift beds, kind of like, downed foliage and other stuff, poorly constructed but functional. You do come across a small stash. No pit traps in here. But you do come to that. Well, so one branch of this tunnel, it's a little cleaner than the others. There was one bigger one that was likely where most of the goblins slept, and then one where the bugbears probably stayed, and then a third one that almost looks like it has like a nest in the center. And while it's certainly no dragon horde, it seemed that the creature that was running the showdown here had himself a little bit of his own horde.
Or like Bargas sword.
Yeah, something like that. And it's not you're not going to retire on it, but as you search through the contents of the tunnel, prior to getting to the treasure, there are various weapons, swords, a few shields, the strewn about crates with some fabrics and textiles and other things that seem to have been looted from the carriage recently. Bits of rope, nothing overly useful. It seems like a lot of the rope sort of got hacked up and used for, other things around this camp. But the little treasure trove belonging to the Barghest, searching through it, you find 87 gold, 112 silver, 121 copper, a ruby,
Cut or uncut?
worth 50 gold pieces, a slightly larger sapphire worth 75 gold, and an absolutely cut diamond worth 100 gold.
What did you guys find?
How much was the diamond?
100
GP. Man, that diamond is ripped.
And aside from bless you, aside from the mundane wealth things, the only other interesting things you find that seem to be relatively carefully tucked away are 2 flasks of what? No, I think at the very least, I think Kurun and Ralos would probably each recognize that the contents of these 2 flasks is alchemist's fire.
It's gonna be dangerous thing to use in the woods.
It's something you definitely want to keep out of other people's hands when you're a bar guest. They have this weird clause about. I was like, "There's no planet where this comes up, especially."
Yeah, right?
Ha! But no, they have this fire banishment thing. It's when the Barghest starts his turn, engulfed in flames that are at least 10 feet high or wide, it needs to succeed on a charisma saving throw or be instantly banished to Gehenna. Right.
Yeah, and I had wildfire preps too.
That's like that's Tomb of Horrors level.
Well, and even
Or
spells
that's
just
like
yeah, that's fair. It's not even like regular spells don't work for it. You have to like set a fire and then get it into this
right.
very large
You have
fire to,
like
get this to happen.
A
A
sustained
fire, yeah.
10 by 10
Suggestion: walk in there.
Yeah, that wouldn't work unless he was immune to fire. In which
It's
case
like
maybe
witch
it'd work.
burning. It's like you found a Barghest, and the town is going to
Yep.
burn him at the stake.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
There isn't any studded leather, is there?
Studded leather? No.
I didn't think so. But I figured I'd ask.
Any rings?
But maybe I'm studded leather.
I mean, there might be
It has to be
some rings, but they're
reversed.
minor value, right? There's nothing.
You just
Nothing worth any.
your collection.
I do. Is there any that are like gold with like some kind of family seal on them?
No.
No. What about family walrus?
Right. I will take a
What about a
nondescript.
dugong?
I will take a nondescript metal ring and put it on my necklace.
Okay.
Hey, Ian. You know that looks a bit tacky.
You can't see it.
When you put it on?
Tacky how?
They don't match.
Well, that's part of the charm. They tell stories.
No, you tell stories.
Well,
They are mementos.
may be true.
Just help me remember sometimes.
I think you tell far better stories than wrought iron or metal that you wear around your neck.
See, this is why you can't die. You help me stay confident.
I sure hope that there are more reasons than that. I'm not supposed to.
That's the only one, actually.
That's all you got going.
Bard gives you plot armor.
The best armor!
Oh my gosh.
Wait a minute. I'll take it.
That should really be a bard ability.
That sounds
Plot armor. That would be so great. At least like a feature or a class feature or something. Oh, that's
yeah,
a best
there
opportunity.
could definitely be like a writer or storyteller subclass bard. You specialize in the written word and telling epic tales.
Plot armor is such a cool idea for something. Yeah.
That's
I
phenomenal.
love that.
The issue is like lore bard just by name sounds like it should. That's what it should be, right? It's
Yeah.
the storytelling bard.
Right.
Yeah.
Wordsmith.
We'll make it work.
Just,
Wordsmith would actually work so well because like you would smith the plot armor.
Yeah.
You know, just like
Wordsmith. Yeah, that's cool.
Keep
Like
like
an
an illusion
awful
focused
fun.
bar.
You need to find a forge, but then you can
like
wordsmith.
an
it.
actual
Like a
forge,
smith.
like an actual forging
Love it.
bard.
Alright.
You make the plot armor.
Kevin, I have a new idea.
You have an attendant.
I volunteered to have
Fabian
Gary.
Fabian has a heart attack and dies.
We just need to go to
God.
community college for a couple years.
Yeah, you haven't gone to college yet.
Exactly.
Community college.
If you had, you could probably cut words. Or do something
okay.
else.
Who needs to I'm going to carve. Is it made of wood or dirt around us?
It's more dirt. There are some roots that protrude a little bit into the edges of what was carved into, because while most of the tree is uprooted, one side's worth of roots still show down a bit.
If I go back up the tunnel a little bit towards the entrance, it turns back into wood.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna start carving a message.
Okay.
Not that I doubt anyone will ever
So-
see it, but
Is there anything, as I look around for, this is some kind of like thieving group. Is there anything from like a thieves' camp perspective of like maybe signifying an escape route or hidden compartments that are placed to store?
I was gonna
Make an investigation check.
I was gonna ask the same thing if there was any like, especially in the one room with the nest, if there are like hidden compartments or anything.
I'm throwing all my things in the trash.
I would set them gently on their 20 side rather than
6.
throwing them.
6.
6.
There's not a whole lot to this little hideout.
Would anyone
It
else
seems like it's just a dugout series of tunnels that these goblinoid creatures had taken up residence in as a bit of an outpost to do their, try and do their raids on travelers and to be a, halfway comfortable shelter.
For sure.
I just wanted to look deeper into the main dude's room, see if there was anything.
Sure. I mean, that's where all the treasure and valuables
Yeah.
were. And when I say like nest, it's literally leaves and foliage
Sure,
and
sure.
and literally just that sort of stuff.
He was magically capable, so that's why I just want to give it a more thorough look just in that room.
Fair. Yeah, you can also give me an investigation check.
Natural 20 for 26.
26.
down the tunnel. Damn.
It's right there.
Turns out, though, it could just be dugout.
Yeah. No. So the
high. If you roll low enough, you find pits. If you roll high enough, you find treasure.
Exactly.
Unintended ground. You know what? You press on this rock on the ground, wasn't a rock, wall opens up.
I'm not gonna lie. I have DM'd less than Kevin, and I know there have been times where you've rolled high enough where I'm like, I guess you find something.
can't be nothing, right? No. So you
10 copper.
You find one extra copper piece that was just tucked under the nest.
Listen, you know what?
You tossed it
That's-
early.
That's percentage of a drink.
Super
Look,
nice
look,
leather.
if you invest that today, 50 years from now, that's probably a platinum piece.
One whole entire platinum.
So you do, kick up dirt, move things around a little bit more. The walls are dirt. There's no extra compartment or hidden area. There are, while there are not naturally inclined humanoid creatures who can just do magic, you've never heard the word sorcerer before, or at least not in the context that we know it with the class.
Yeah.
There are some beasts and creatures that are not necessarily native to this plane or have some lineage that is not Anterra terrestrial, that are capable of just inherently being magical.
Yeah.
You do find another 25 gold diamond.
We take those.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that.
It was
You
this
did
this was legitimately tucked into its little nest area.
I guess I even have. I'd been.
I
I'd
mean,
been okay.
it
with
was a nat 20. It was a 26. It was good.
I'd have been okay with it.
You are extremely confident that you find nothing of interest. So it's like, right? Like, yeah.
If it be like that, it'd be like if I'm strolling in the woods, I'm like natural 20. You're like, I mean, there are trees, Lenny. There are trees. It doesn't matter how hard you look.
We'll
it's
change
still
it up.
just gonna
We'll add some more color. It's a 25 gold emerald. It's green.
Oh
It's
snap!
fancy. Just be a little different. Got some nice gemstones. And you do find a slightly nicer, like tarnished gold ring to make Fabian's necklace a little bit more
I
impressive
give you
looking.
that. I give you that one.
Don't give it to him.
I throw the other one into the wall.
It's junker.
Like it's an illusion.
So the small bit of the crest on this matches the Morley Trading Company logo.
The ring.
Yeah.
They should have went with like the more lance. More that would have been better for that.
Perfect. I'll just say that we should like all sort of look through the valuables and just recommend that we divide them up between us.
We have 4 different types of gemstones here. Who wants which one? You tell a lot about a person by which gemstone they take.
I'm going to take the one that's nearest me.
I'm going
Roll
to.
a d4.
I'm going to hold up my sword. Archie just point at the hilt and point at the red gem.
I take the largest diamond.
Yep. You have ruby.
You can tell a lot about a person by the gemstone they take. Biggest diamond.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just can tell. Just means you find the things that are the most valuable.
I don't have any nice rings. Is that a problem for you?
No. In fact,
If I die, what are you going to put around your necklace?
I hear rabbit
Your
trees are
foot.
lucky.
that's a great. I'll think on that.
Just have a big foot under your shirt.
It'd be
Probably
lucky.
a
It'd be
string.
extremely lucky, actually.
It would be extremely.
Think about it. Think about how much bigger that is than the normal rabbit's foot. But again, taxidermy is not big, and
Right, so,
Just not
is there anything you don't want? Yeah.
bugbear head taxidermy.
Is there anything you don't want me to take?
I'd rather you not take any of it.
Well, that's
Just
not the
one.
game.
Just 1 year.
It gives me no pleasure to take any parts. It's a little dumb.
He says to the guy covered in blood after.
Well, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad that you are.
I assume I'm not covered in blood. I'd be a little messy, but I'm not just
Right.
like. I didn't actually.
Probably
I wasn't
less covered in
actually,
blood than you.
swimming in-
It's my own blood, though.
Right.
Relish.
Somehow less gross.
Relish, I'll toss you the emerald in the pile.
You mean the emerald eye?
Yeah.
You'll toss me the emerald.
I appraised it and then I tossed it back.
You did not praise
I
it.
appraised it. Yeah, no, that's canon.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, that's really nice emerald."
emerald. Then I offered it to the rest of the group. And then it took it.
I take 2 of the alchemist fire and throw them both in the baby. Let's see how well you burn.
God. Okay. So there's.
I got the 22 gold, except one person gets 21. 23 silver.
So it's 87 gold apiece.
Wait, what? 87 total?
But that's
Wait, are you talking about adding the gems value in there too?
Okay. No, I was not adding the gem value.
You're just gonna give Caleb the next 22 after taking the.
No, you're just giving
It's
me an extra
87.
13.
It's 87 gold each. I was like, there's only 87 gold.
So if I have the ruby, then that's 37 more.
Yeah.
I'm saying? Okay, that's how we're doing it.
And if I have the diamond, that means
You
I get an extra 13 gold, baby.
Oh. I probably don't know as a character which one's the most valuable anyway.
Tell you what, I'll kill the Vargas for the extra gold.
That's you don't. I was I guess very reasonable.
Listen.
Thank you.
Okay. Who's taking the alchemist fire?
I'll take.
There's 2. Dos flasks.
If somebody else wants one, they can have one too. You don't even know what it is. You ask me what it is?
What is it?
It's a healthy.
Joke's on you, though. I think he resists fire.
I hope. Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, it actually. No, you
From the
resist
outside or
fire.
inside?
Unclear.
I'll tell you what
I am
it is.
protected from Chipotle's hot
I'll tell you what
sauce.
it is. I want to just convert this into money then. Anyways, how much gold? If we
22 apiece, except somebody gets 21 and 10 extra silver. if you're dividing up the.
It's 87 total gold worth of value between the 4 of us.
Right.
I don't know how to divide up the coins, but I just put
Well-
plus 37 gold pieces of value of coins. Probably doesn't really matter.
Encumbrance!
I put the coins in my pocket, my pouch of exact change.
If we're splitting up coins,
They don't have those in Anterra.
It's 22 gold, 21 silver, 28.
By immersion.
I start hunting gelatinous cubes until I find one with a bag in it.
What?
are we doing it by gold value or by pieces?
I think by piece. I was just gonna.
Oh, by
take
pieces?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So do it that way.
Each 3 of you guys is 22 gold pieces, 21 silver pieces. No, sorry, 28 silver pieces and 30 copper pieces.
21, 28, 30.
22, 28, 30.
Add. Done. And then just you have your gems.
Yep.
That's easier than magically liquidating the gems in this
Right.
moment.
And you might have an idea of the relative different worths, but I don't think any of you.
Also,
I'm
I
telling you the
definitely-
value so that it's in your inventory with the correct value. I don't know that any of you look at these and be like, "This is definitely worth this. This is."
Also, as a wizard, diamonds are useful for casting, so
That
I
is
don't
true.
want us to liquidate gems straight into
Yeah.
dollar amounts.
Now, gems have a fair, wide range of uses in Anterra.
Can I appraise the gems so we would know in character how much they're worth?
You can try.
All the
What do you want me to
system.
roll for this?
Huh?
What do you want me to roll for this?
Intelligence, and tell me which one you're rolling for.
May I assist him?
Yes.
Or do it myself, either one. Doesn't matter. I'm probably smarter than you.
I'll do the
Yeah,
diamond.
but you can be really smart and not like have a good grasp on
I'll-
the relative
I can
values of
also
precious gems, right? Like I've decided this is worth 1,000 gold.
I can help. I can help.
No, it's a,
appraise this.
it's a specific collector's tree.
You guys know my market to sell it.
I will do the diamond first.
I'm helping you.
Do I get any? Is it just a strict intelligence check, or is there?
Just a straight intelligence check for this one.
Okay.
Rocks.
'Rocks check?
13 for the diamond.
I mean, again, you have a ballpark relative idea
Yeah.
of what they're worth.
Yep.
You know, looks like it's worth around 100 gold.
It's about 100 gold pieces. Do the sapphire next.
Roll with advantage.
Oh my gosh. A natural 1.
Did you roll with advantage?
I did.
Wait, did you double natural one?
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a 9. That's not a 1.
like what? Like,
11.
Impressive. Impressively bad.
I've done it before.
You have, that's true.
This is a one of a kind sapphire. It's priceless.
No, this sapphire is worth about 75 gold.
Okay. We'll do the ruby next.
Not the box, brothers. Yo, you are
11.
phenomenal.
This is horrible. 11.
What about the one that wasn't in the box?
That one was a 14. Am I rolling with advantage for this?
No.
And then for the ruby.
Yeah, that you just rolled for the ruby.
Sorry, emerald.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. 12.
12.
I'm,
Yeah, I mean, the relative values you can ballpark them well enough.
I don't know. Yeah. These are really shiny.
The only one you're very sure on is the sapphire.
Yeah. These should be worth a fair bit of coin. I
Don't need to split hairs over the exact. I'm sorry. I don't need to. I don't need to get too exact about how the coin is split up.
That was delightful.
On how the value of these gemstones. I think this is more than any of us bargained for going into here. So I'm fine with my cut if you all are as well.
I'll make fun of your cut.
as long as it's a cut of hair. Hair above the rest.
All right. So are you guys going to head back to the road, or are you going to rest here, or
Yeah,
What's
we're
the
gonna
rest
rest
here?
Okay.
It
Alright.
doesn't seem to have any like mechanism, like any doors or anything, right? Just right?
just got the opening, right? Like it just counts on the natural
Totally.
camouflage.
Totally fine.
Okay.
I will pack up whatever looks like the most valuable stolen textile that I can reasonably carry without encumbering myself to take back to town. But so I can give it back.
After seeing you do it, I'll also do it.
Sure. So you're just trying to like gather
Just-
whatever light stuff looks like it's still in okay shape,
Like,
basically.
Yeah, so basically, like this company was obviously trying to send this wagon with goods. I'm gonna try and pick out whatever looked like it would be the most valuable to them, that they would be most pleased to have been recovered.
Gotcha. Yeah, so you don't really. They're just clothes. They're just fabrics to you. But you grab kind of anything that looks like it's not too soiled or ruined or dirty at this point, and sort of ball them all up and sort of like take one and wrap and tie it so that you've sort of just got this like bundle of cloth and clothing and textiles and stuff. All right. Anything before rest time?
No, sir.
Well then. Oh, what's it?
To anyone who sees the carving I was working on earlier, it just says, those who dwelled here were murderers and thieves. They didn't live to repeat their transgressions. And there's sort of two symbols underneath.
I recognize either of the symbols.
One of them you recognize from my holy symbol. The other one, I can show you what it looks like. But you probably won't recognize it.
Yeah, Ravos, why would you be curious about what this symbol is?
No, like reset the view. I was trying to.
I'm a book nerd.
There we go.
Your words are a little stronger than the ones I use, but
Looks like
I
that.
agree. Oh, it's a
Yeah, so you would recognize the first symbol as, you know, as a holy symbol of Rahenna, right? That's what the first one was that you
Yeah.
carved? Yeah. It's one of the relatively popular iconographies for that deity.
Mm-hmm.
The second one you don't recognize.
Have I seen you like make these before?
No, not yet. No, probably not.
Yeah, unlikely. Okay.
Assuming we still want to keep watch.
Probably a good idea.
Still might be a couple more out scouting a highway or something.
Definitely stragglers.
All right.
I'll take the first one.
Yeah, I'd like to. I'm just trying to think if we could set up like some kind of like a rope trap even at the mouth of the log or something to give us an alert if someone walks in.
Caltrops seem to do wonders on that.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
For us.
Yeah.
I only have 18 more bags of them.
Okay.
Let's make sure we don't use them all in one place.
Literally just throw out 18 bags of caltrops. They take more damage this way, right?
It's a blockade.
We don't
The opening 10 feet wide.
Not quite, but yeah. So
It's one bag of caltrops per 5 by 5 square.
Put
So
all
however
the
many of those I need to
caltrops
use.
up and
two
fire them all
bags
into-
to thoroughly sort
Big
of block
shotgun.
the entrance at least.
I will do that.
Guns.
And if we all walk at half speed when we cross that threshold, we don't have to take damage. So
Yeah, if you know it's there and you
I
can
will
daintily
exactly
not
that.
step on the jacks, you can be okay. Don't dodge the Legos.
Maybe put those over the top and we'll just wait.
Hey, these are metal spikes. These are not Legos, okay?
True.
yeah, Legos are way worse.
Yeah, that's true. let's not be ridiculous here. It's like talking like steel versus adamantine. Okay. So first watch.
Magic items this early.
Don't all jump at once. I can stay up by myself if I need to. If you're not.
Fine, I'll stay up.
So
Up to it, har har.
I was putting these caltrops down. I didn't mean to. Sorry. I think I hit a nerve here.
Okay. Yeah, give me a couple of perception checks for the first watch.
Oh my gosh!
Just buy new dice, man.
This is so
Just
bad.
buy new dice.
This one wasn't even a dispel die. The one he just rolled wasn't.
Like less than 10. I don't know.
It's bad.
Yeah, they're not good. What you got?
10.
10? Okay, less than that.
Okay.
When you said less than 10, I thought 9 hurt.
Any anything you guys doing during this time, or we can just skip right to the end?
You feel like telling me a story?
A little rattled tonight. But
Your buddy had a bad time.
yeah. See, it's weird. We've fought a few times. It's been a long time since I've seen anyone else that close.
What do you mean?
you pick up stories. When I was younger, we traveled with sailors, pirates, warriors, and you see people die. But I've lived a fairly peaceful life recently, and I don't know. You just it's not even my own life I'm really concerned about. If I die, that's how you become a legend. And my name lives on, but carrying the weight of friends' stories after they're gone is a burden I hope not to bear any more of.
You don't like carrying the burden of stories?
Stories are fine. They're more fun when you only know of the subject, not seeing how they actually died. This is going to surprise you, but some of the stories in here are embellished.
Do you ever think how that might feel to be people that know?
Well, I don't embellish them in a way that would tear down their legacy, only ways that would hopefully pick them up and give their family something to remember them by.
Would you embellish your friends' stories?
Completely.
What's so bad about your friends? Maybe their lives are just what they lived.
Maybe, but I don't know, can't we be more than what we did? If our story inspires people to hear about it, then isn't that more than some of the mundane? Well,
If you tell a story about your friend, it's not really about your friend. Is it them that's inspiring, or you?
It's a good question. It's worth considering. I just started to flip through. It seemed like me rifled a couple different pages, and it's a good thought.
If there's nothing else, then first watch comes to a close, quiet and without issue. Cool.
Suppose that means, well, do you guys pick us up?
Never.
Never.
We proofread every story I've written.
Do you pull out a red pen?
Yeah.
There should really be a comma here for sure.
How are the grammar rules in Anterra?
Is it Oxford
Surely
comma
it's all
or
Shirley.
are we
It's
barbarians?
Oxguard comma.
Shirley English. Do you guys not have that knowledge?
There's a mage academy at Oxguard. Which, I mean, clearly you knew about being from Anterra. It's not
Yeah.
like I still haven't handed you guys the here's all about the continent you're from
He
document
also
yet.
You certainly
did
haven't
know
given
you
us the
mentioned-
grammar
he
primer.
did.
That's true.
We're gonna have to put
I did
everything
write that
else
down
in the
somewhere.
backlog.
I think it's when you mentioned. So.
Can we prioritize the
We did
grammar
every-
primer?
yeah.
Every local dialect, please.
Oh, do we look at local dictionary every time that we go
All
into town?
slang.
I'd like to
Anything
know
you're
the
familiar
slang,
with?
especially. Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, you guys got
Wow, this accent's really funny. The greeting is "fuck off, Jordan." It doesn't. It's remarkably
I
consistent
told him this means
throughout.
peace among worlds.
I told him this means peace among worlds. Hilarious.
Oh my god.
Sharp in the dirt.
It's just slavery with extra steps.
Ralos, are you feeling up to watch tonight? I can certainly make it through.
I'll be fine.
He says, having woken you up in the middle of the night. Are you good to take a walk?
I
Suddenly,
know we talked about this earlier, but does the first hour of a long rest count as a short rest or no?
Doesn't matter because you're gonna get a whole rest tonight.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll make a decision that impacts the whole rest of the campaign.
Right. Like, oh god, precedent has been set.
we start a long rest.
Yeah, but that one
It gets
time,
interrupted-
Kevin.
It gets interrupted how long through? 59 minutes.
Because fuck you.
No!
46 minutes
Yeah, you
into it, the
guys
villain
think-
starts monologuing, and you guys will get impatient and fight him before the
I
hour
wait
is
10
up.
rounds.
You guys think you're slick. It was 59 minutes and 47 seconds.
Got him.
You get attacked. I don't move. You get attacked 9 more times.
I'm still resting.
And
I
now
use all my hit die.
I
I miraculously heal.
Oh.
On the edge of death, just something.
Suddenly, spells. Give me your perception checks.
Oh, it was almost good, and then it wasn't. That's decent. 17. 8.
Yeah,
Wait, 16.
not bad. Anything you guys want to do?
So was today interesting for you?
Well, yes, in fact. I don't think I've ever been about to die before.
It's not something I recommend making a habit out of.
No, I
Yeah,
I prefer-
yeah, that's really good advice.
I much prefer being on the dealing end of that, not the receiving.
Oh, I think he was lucky more than anything. He sort of just came in before we were really ready for him. He was fast. That thing. Yeah, but the way you fight is, I mean, your friend sort of fights like I do sometimes, but you certainly have it. You have elegance in a different way. You don't usually. I don't think I've ever seen. It's a sight.
I can only attribute a bit of that to myself, admittedly. Though I wouldn't tell Fabian. But I had quite excellent teachers that certainly pale my abilities when put up against their own.
I feel the same way. I learned mine from the church, and there are people far more skilled than I. But we all have to start somewhere.
Where did you learn?
From I had a mentor among the followers of Verhenna, and he his name was Murin, and he took me sort of under his wing, and MHURREN for the computer.
I got 2 of those correct.
The M and the N.
Correct.
I love it. I don't even know where I got that name from. I think
It's a cool.
but
Rello says in character.
It's a cool name.
Interesting.
Cool guy.
fascinating. He taught me what it means to be a follower and how to navigate the world in a way that perhaps isn't the most traditional amongst the church, but I personally find it much more involved in making a difference rather than taking a more passive route. So
A bit more zealous of an approach.
you could put it that way. I'm sure they would.
So, sort of the concept of you worship the same God, but not necessarily in the practice of the traditional temples.
So yes,
Not associated with them.
many of the churches would probably find some issue with some of the things we do. Well, I do. Today, they probably wouldn't have any issue with it. On another, I don't know. I guess it's hard to know without asking. But one can only use their best judgment.
I suppose if you are following the teachings of Rahenna, that speaks much more than following the teachings of the church built by people and not her herself.
There's some truth to that, but also to some extent, I sort of follow the teachings of my mentor, the teacher. If he, if in a way he has his own church, in a sense, and that's the whole. And we just follow that church differently. But yes, I do try to follow her in my own way.
Well, we haven't known each other very long, but your commitment is commendable, to say the least.
Well, couldn't have done it without your help. So
I would argue that it seemed like you did in that last bout.
Well, there were plenty of arrows flying as well, and Fabian helps, but his primary concern was saving your life. I know you weren't probably conscious enough to realize it, but
Yeah.
he went right to you.
There's a reason why he was one of the few people outside of where I'm from that I've taken quite a liking to.
It's hard to find people that won't try and stab you in the back the first chance they get. So that's been at least refreshing with you two so far. But
It's just like you have the sword out. Like,
Yeah, bro.
I got a 21 on my attack roll.
He says that Fabian's coming out, I'm like, and Korean's behind Fabian, just like the goblins behind. Oh, you also Corinne. Corinne.
Yeah, I can't say that I am particularly well versed in the usual, we'll say, decorum of people outside of where I'm from. However, they're not so hard to read, and people are less skilled at hiding intentions of malice than they probably believe themselves to be. For better or for worse. Either you're the best at it that I've experienced thus far, or you simply don't fall into that spectrum.
Well, you also haven't given me a reason, to be fair. And I hope you never do. But it's sort of the way things. But I agree with it in the sense of people. They're, generally speaking, people are in a sense predictable, and they surprise you when they're not. They're not what you expected people on the road to be. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of Bavaria?
Yes, I have.
You probably have heard of it. You've probably never met anyone from there. You've definitely never been there yourself. It is... So, where you guys were in Darkhold, you guys both came south to get to Darkhold. They came from Oslo, which is like due north, many, like probably a couple weeks worth of travel. Riveria is far off to the east of that, tucked into some mountains. Basically, it's sort of like the tip of the northern part of the Strinafell.
Okay, and they came from the northwest, so they kind of like had to do like a weird U to get in, sideways U, towards. Am I misimagining how this looks?
I will have. Well, it might just be on my sketch actually.
We would have had to go around the string fill, not through.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking?
Basically, like
Yeah.
if you guys came from the northwest and this place is in the northern part of the Sternfell, you guys would have to like have to have gone west before coming back and heading to.
What was the name of it?
Bavaria. R-A-V-A-R-I-A.
So I can fix it without actually having to erase it. Actually, I don't want to erase it because it looks stupid.
Did you also have a capital R and a capital A?
What?
Or a capital A and then I just put a capital R before it?
Rah, very.
Would it possibly put in?
Drag shows are real big. Rah, very.
Ah.
It's a weird sport. They just drag things. See
Right.
who can go the fastest.
But also, admittedly, from so where you grew up, most people were relatively local or like lived most of their life in the area. When you were, the last few years, you definitely have met people from a number of places. So like now that you think about it, it's probably a little bit odd that you haven't just happened to meet someone who's been from there before. But at the same time, there are a lot of cities across the continent. It's
Big
not
world.
like, yeah, right. Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, no, I've definitely met someone from every major metropolitan area in the continent.
Well, does it seem like you're hesitant to talk about it?
Not hesitant, more like expecting that you wouldn't
You have to know what it's like.
know
Where it is.
about it.
Well, I can't say I've heard of the place, but it's sort of like where you hear of a place on a map that you've never been to. You don't really know anything about it. Does everyone from where you're from fight like you, or do they not get out much? Because I just haven't met anyone that's I've never seen anyone that fights like you.
Not quite. My fighting style is a bit more of a family tradition, more than anything. I would be quite surprised if many people from either wherever you're from or from Bavaria would have been around here very frequently. So unsurprising you wouldn't cross paths with them.
People from my town, they come this way to sell goods, and after harvest is done, Corin would be able to. Corin would likely be able to speak to that, but yeah, I could see why people from the northern Sternfell might not make their way down here.
It's not much of a trade hub per se,
Gotcha.
as you might imagine at the northern
Sternfell.
part of the Sternfell.
Drought grows in the shade and the mist.
It's more productive than you might expect.
Well, that is mysterious.
It's not in the Sternfell.
I thought you said it was northern Sternfell.
It's north of the Sternfell. Yeah.
That's the same thing. No, it's not the same thing.
I mean, if you draw a compass,
It is approximately Zorth of the Sternfell.
Assistant to the regional Sternfell.
right? If you use a 3-dimensional compass, then it's like right in the middle. Of it.
Alright.
Yeah, Rallo
North, east, south,
West,
Zorth, up, Zornor. It's about Zornor.
Don't forget West. That one's a classic.
Exactly.
Zor North.
Ah, yes, it is east of here.
Well, if Fabian pointed to me where it was on the map, and he pointed on the Sternfell, so I don't know what to tell you.
I'm certain Fabian has never been there either. I'd probably change the topic at this point, just to...
Fair.
Not hammer you about a million things about it.
All right. Well, your watch also concludes uneventfully, and you all gain the benefits of a long rest and a level up.
Oh, shit! We didn't even have to ask for it. Oh, this is the last time that's happened.
Right.
Which is not.
I lulled you into the false sense of God. He's never gonna let us level up.
Well, here's the thing, which is not a hit to Kevin. It's a testament to how we ask every single time if we level up. Kevin was like, "Not today, boys. If I do it in the middle, there's no way that they can ask me before I give it to them."
Incredible.
Well played, Mr.
Yeah,
DM.
thank you.
Well played.
That's awesome.
Let's roll some HP while we're at
No
it.
pressure. No, not again. I'm gonna roll minimum again. I don't want to do it. Don't make me do it.
Wait, what are the rules for this again?
I'm pulling it up. I got him. I think.
I'm gonna commit to
Maybe
saying
I
die.
didn't.
Oh,
One me
now
again.
here's
This has no. This
Okay,
must be in
it's
the
just
doc
better.
that I
I'll take
did.
it.
I
What do I get?
post it somewhere.
You get a D8.
I feel like
Oh,
I
I know.
shortcutted
What do I
it
do?
somewhere. Two
You
pinned.
roll it, and you get a minimum
that's not
of 2, I think.
2?
I get a minimum of 3.
Yeah.
D6
So you
is
roll
get
it.
minimum 1.
You re-roll
or-
an initial 1.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it
You
was.
re-roll an initial 1, and then if whatever roll you have to keep the second roll. But if it's a D6, so the D6 stays at a 1. Your 1 minimum is 1. D8 minimum is 2. D10 minimum is 3. Like you can't end up with less than that.
Okay.
So I rolled.
Dang it.
Okay.
That's a 7 too.
So you get, yes, that's what you get. What'd you get?
4, baby.
4 more. So you get
Not-
4 plus con.
4. Yeah. So I again.
4 plus con.
Not a
For
2
you.
this time. A 2
Right.
is demoralizing.
9. Hey, all right. We're on the board.
We're on
the
fire now.
board. Kurin gets a 9, which is dope. Awesome.
The archer back line, 150 feet back. I
You
got
know,
HP.
It can be important because sometimes a bar guest randomly knows Dimension Door and is real tired of getting shot from 150 feet away. It's just like, I'm done with this.
It was one of those things where you're like, he detours next to you, and I'm like, I knew it would happen. Like, I knew no matter what, eventually something was going to be next to you in the middle of nowhere.
Yep. And I mean, and it was weird too when I was looking up, you know, like what sort of like fits with these goblins and bugbears, and I found this thing that I'm like, you know, classically, this thing seems like it should be working against them, but this will be cool.
Yeah.
And it was just like a convenient confluence of, all right, this has solid abilities to be reasonably challenging without being impossibly challenging.
I forgot about all the random things I get.
But as we complete this short rest and as you guys work through your leveling up, I can take you. Well, that's true. You probably have been like, I know exactly what I'm doing at level 3 for a little
Who
bit.
thinks
now.
ahead for their characters?
Right? No, not Grog Strong Jaw. That's for sure.
Strong draw.
Stone Draw Strong Jaw. But as you begin day 7 of your travel, you know
You miss the of your travel.
you start the trek back towards the main road. It takes you a couple hours, but you know, so all you've lost some time, but not a tremendous amount by any means. And you make it back to the road without much issue.
But with a little issue.
You without much issue, but with a little issue. You managed to avoid any additional spike traps by virtue of not sneaking. So they were too scared. You were making too much noise. They were like, we can't come out. But you, with goods in tow, make your way back out to the road and find yourselves traveling westward again on a warm, sunny spring day. Still cool enough in the shade of the forest around you. And this day passes quietly, uneventfully. You know, the occasional bird or rabbit, little forest critter, but nothing otherwise of note. Day 8, similarly, quiet. You camp. It's quiet all night. No ruckus. No interruptions during your watches. But during day 8, there are you do see a pair of. You're not sure how high up in the sky they are, or how much of it is these flying creatures just being absolutely enormous. But two, gargantuan-looking birds flying northbound, probably, hundreds of feet up at least, if not thousands, and just flying northward.
Do I recognize what kind of birds they are?
Give me I guess we'll go history check here.
Okie dokie. Come on, book nerd. 17.
17. So you've definitely never encountered any yourself, and it's a little hard to again judge the scale for something so far away, or that you perceive might be quite far away.
Yeah.
But there are definitely, rocks exist in this world, which are literally gargantuan, dragon-sized birds.
Yeah.
And they're pretty rare, but not unheard of. They don't usually mess with humanoid society, but sometimes they can be spotted.
Okay. I was curious if it was like some kind of like typical mount that people would take, but no. After knowing that, clearly not.
Yeah.
So it's bird within bowshot range of you.
Please don't.
No.
maybe if you hop.
Think about it.
And, all right. Day 8 of travel comes again to a quiet close. And again, another quiet night camping on the road.
Hard to know.
On the 9th day on the road. Again, the weather is fine. It's a comfortable spring
I
day.
apologize.
What?
T.O.
Sure.
So that is, we saw rocks above us on day 8.
8 of travel.
It's day 8 of the campaign. We're all we have us four have perceived it as day 4 of the campaign. That's what.
No, this was. My days are now lined up. Total
So-
days of campaign are combined with Kevin's days of travel.
I know.
There's an extra day that's passed.
So
Caravan and Goblins and
Day
Margest
7.
were on day 6 of travel.
Yep.
okay.
Day 7 was very quiet and uneventful. And day 8, you saw the rocks fly overhead.
Okay, day.
Yep.
Okay, see that's
Day 8
where
of travel.
day
Don't worry,
9
we're gonna
is
get through this
that-
travel, and we'll be able to get you an actual tried and true date on an Anterran calendar, and we'll be golden
You
from
make it
that
sound like
point.
it'd be less confusing.
So now
It
we're
will be
on-
less confusing because it will be like, no, it's this date. I don't have to feel like it's been this many days.
How many
It is
days
this
is that
date.
since we started the
It
campaign?
is now day 10.
I will backtrack it when I finish the calendar. It'll be fine.
It's
We'll
now
get there.
day 10 of the campaign.
But when's the cheese festival?
We're not in the month of
cheese.
cheese.
But no, it's
Please make
another
a month of cheese.
Straight month of cheese with an actual cheese.
Listen, I'm not going that
Give
far.
the people
All-
what they want.
Look, every month is a different cheese.
T-S-C-H-I-S.
Ah, yes, the 30th of Pepperjack, the 12th of Gouda,
I mean...
and on the 10th month they did the
Oh,
Munster
Merry
mash.
Parmesan to you, sir.
Ah,
Merry
yes,
Parmesan.
Merry Parmesan.
Okay, day 9 of travel, which is day 10 of Campagne. I'm good now.
It is a comfortable spring day. You find, you don't encounter anything out of the ordinary, but as the sun starts to set, you do finally emerge from the forest and find yourselves once again in sort of a plains, grassland, low rolling hills type of landscape. At this point, you can now just see miles ahead because obviously there's no forest inhibiting your view. You can see mountains to the north, which you could see those before you got in the forest too, very distantly, but you could see them. Which those are the Anterra Mountains, which are just north of Iridor. Much, much further to the distant south, you see the beginning of another mountain range. But further west, you see what seems to be gray and dark gray clouds rolling in from the west. The weather's still fine for now, but looks like rain. Do you camp? Do you go backtrack into the woods a little bit and sort of camp in the edge of the woods, or?
Do we see any civilization in sight, or would we know of any?
You're close. It's not in sight yet. Usually there's about a day or so of travel to get from the edge of this forest to Iridor proper.
Wait, days of travel to get to Iridor proper from where we are now, or just
No, one more day.
one more day?
Yeah.
Well, we don't really have a choice. But
Having made this trip repeatedly, Kurin, you would know that you're not close enough to be like, okay, well let's you'd be walking all through the night to get there if you kept going now.
So we're probably going to get caught in a storm. Regardless, it's a matter of do we weather the storm in the forest or out in the plains here.
It's okay where you are for now. You see it on the distant horizon.
Sure. I would like to cast Druidcraft to discern how bad that storm is going to be.
Does it do that?
I can detect the weather at a location for the next 24 hours.
sick. That's cool.
Okay.
I'm
gonna-
Druidcraft ?
Do you not? So, you see as we walk out and I sort of look over at the clouds rolling in. I'm just going to let's see here. I'm gonna you hear you see me sort of wave my hand a little bit and you hear a chittering sound. It's way more animal than any of the sounds you've heard me make before.
So you're making the chittering sound.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see this sort of just light and shape. It's not you don't see a picture of what's going to happen, but it's sort of you see sort of the manifesting effects of the storm of the weather that will occur.
Yeah, it almost looks like a different kind of minor illusion. Obviously, there are other properties to it, but visually to you, that would probably remind you of that cantrip. If you've probably seen it, that's a common enough one amongst spellcasters that you may have witnessed that before. So this says a cloud for rain. I'm going to say that there will be various types of clouds, and for this particular location, it is definitely going to be cloudy. But according to your Druidcraft, it doesn't look like it's going to rain here in the next 24 hours.
Okay.
Or at least not soon enough that your spell decides to make it raining.
Sure. Do the
That
clouds
is the
look
coolest Druidcraft use ever. I did not know that did that. That's so
cool.
random.
I love that.
I was
actually.
I was like, I don't know, I've never used this. Let's try this.
That's cool. I love it.
So sick.
All right.
I'm gonna. I don't know. Looks like the weather won't be.
So it's all specific. It's specifically where you are, not
Right.
what's going to be over there.
Right.
But
So, yeah,
Right
if
in
we
5 feet from us.
so right here we're cold.
We stay right here.
Right
We're
here.
you know.
It's just the eye of a hurricane.
We're fine. It says for the next 24 hours, not in the next. I thought about that too.
Just distinction.
Well,
We're in.
because so many storms won't be 24 hours, right? So like if a storm is 1 hour long,
Then it would never detect a storm. unless
Right,
it was
exactly.
raining all day.
exactly. That's why it'd be for.
That's why it's importantly worded the way that it is.
The weather looks like the skies look a bit rough, but weather should be okay here. Might be a better idea to set up camp where we're at, and it's going to be another full day before maybe even set it back in the forest where we have some cover.
It's too bad none of these textiles are waterproof.
They're not. Have you tried it?
No, but I doubt it.
It's too bad, but you haven't even checked it. We've been on the road for.
I mean, the one's
You've had literal days
the
to
one
figure
has
this
a bit of
out.
lace on it, and generally speaking, lace is not waterproof.
Sure.
I mean, it could be waterproof, but not water catching.
I mean, a bit of rain never hurt anybody. You're fine.
I'm sure that was
Somewhere there's a witch melting and screaming,
Look,
"You lied to me!"
This is awful.
It's the winds and lightning.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's all up for, but you said it's not.
It's just like
Not
your
here.
opinion.
Right.
Yeah, so
But I don't know about over there.
that's fine. We're just gonna hang out right here, though.
Sure.
You just hold out your Doppler, your radar. How's it gonna be? Oh, okay, hang on. If we stay here, it
I
shouldn't
wait
rain.
6 seconds. How about over here?
You are reasonably confident it won't be raining here the next day.
That's
So,
That's
If
definition
you-
Doppler radar. They just have a bunch of druids.
oh my god!
Like data.
Oh my
Do they
god!
have? Can druids get
There's got to
sending?
be some. There's got to be some
Can they
fun
learn
guy.
sending?
I don't
Sea
know.
druids?
Maybe.
I think sending is actually kind of hard. I don't know. I forget.
It would be so funny. You sort of druids in periodic spaces, and they are communicating with each other either through message or something else.
This sounds
It's
like a
just-
really great
in
job
the
for the
messenger.
Oromikos
Yeah.
neural network
Yeah,
and some
exactly.
fun guy that can cast Druidcraft or something.
This is rain.
This is Corn Rose Water reporting from
It
Northern
is
Alabama. Today we were forecasted.
You guessed it, hot and sunny again.
Oh my god. Okay. So you guys head just back into the outskirts of the woods, make up your camp for the night. Far enough away from the road, far enough away from the clearing, but not too deep. And again, this night passes quietly.
I hate to even ask. This is the 9th now. The 9th.
That was
No,
9.
no,
That was day 9 of travel.
Day 9
You're
of
waking
travel,
up on
day
the
10 of
11th
campaign.
And on the 11th day, y'all rose again in fulfillment of the campaign, and we headed west.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I already wrote
So-
arrive in Iridor on here.
yeah,
Day
so
11.
you wake up, you head out again. After a few hours, when it's about midday, you finally begin to see, and disclaimer, there's still miles of visibility at this point since it's a plains grassland. But finally, on the horizon, the edge of Iridor comes into view. So there'll still be a couple more hours of walking before you get there. But of course, just as the city comes into view, the sky finally opens up. And the last few hours of your trek are spent soaking wet. Those textiles are not particularly waterproof.
Rain.
Um,
24 hours.
And before you make it to you get to Iridor, the outskirts of the settlements there. You pass by a handful of farms and a mill, various other agricultural establishments. But on the road, basically the first inn that you come to is literally called Traveler's Respite. And
Yeah, it
soaked and drenched, soaking wet, You enter it. The half-orc owner named Riza. She runs this particular establishment. She gives you, time by a warm hearth and rooms for the night for the cost of 5 silver pieces a piece. But that also comes with, some meat, some cheese, a bit of ale to warm you up while you all dry out next to the hearth.
Before
How
I
much?
spell this, oh sorry, go ahead.
5 silver covers everything for here.
Before I spell this, how do you spell reason?
Reeza.
Close, baby.
Couldn't be an I.
You want to turn anything I do with E's got to be I's for you. Maybe it's a me thing. I don't know.
Reason's the name.
Read the Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I guess
That's-
that's fair.
why.
That's
That's
fair.
why.
It goes.
Exactly.
Okay. Touche.
I mean, not
Um,
wrong. It's your character.
So
Unexpected.
So that is where we will end for tonight. As you guys warm at the Traveler's Respite, and when we pick up next week, we will finally get you guys truly into Iridor. And at level 3.
If I had copper for every time we've walked into a city soaking wet in the rain, I'd have 2 copper. Which isn't much, but it's a little weird that it's happened twice.
You have a lot more money than that.
Right, well,
How often do you walk into a city in the rain?
that's twice.
You have way more copper than that.
Right, well, it's because we killed people. Well, things. And we took the money from them. You were there. That's-
Why am I telling you this story?
It was goblins, not people. Just, I mean, they're like people, but specifically there's goblins.
In some corner table, there's a goblin. Well, I never.
How dare you!
My uncle's a goblin.
This like half orc. My uncle's a goblin. He's the sweetest guy I've ever met. Never had a shirt off his back. Volunteers 3 out of 7 days a week.
All right. Well then, gents, you've made it to Iridor. You've made it to level 3 successfully without anybody dying. Even though Lenny's made a habit of getting crit.
No, I have not made a habit of
I am just happy to have rolled.
Habit of course is me.
I'm just
Old
happy to
habits
roll
die
over
hard.
Twice
No.
tonight.
I hope not.
The pair
Attacks with
advantage attacks.
That was so painful.
That was bad.
Because before that, you were rolling pretty well,
It was
and then
fine.
those 4 dice just were like.
I was feeling okay about your chances of getting to break the concentration until you missed both of those.
Yeah. No,
And I was like,
cracks.
oh, this is
bad.
a lot worse because.
Well, and I was.
And then you had just missed I think 2 arrows in a row
Yeah,
or something,
right.
and I'm just like, if he leaves and you're still down and you keep missing and you keep missing, this thing's got 30 HP left and he's gonna murder you.
Well, I had this. I was trying to figure out okay, so I keep shooting, and at a certain point, I stop shooting and I hide.
Right.
And just at what point do I just hide, hope it goes away, and try to scavenge my friends?
I'm here for it. We almost had to scavenge one of them.
It's true.
Actually
It's true.
scavenge.
I was hoping you had
Incredible.
some healing spell left, or Spare the Dying or something.
Same, dude. I agree.
Okay. Well, that'll wrap it for tonight. We'll be back next Monday, and hopefully, we'll I think most of the rest of July.
Yeah.
I think we're on for supposedly.
I'm
Seems that way.
out one Monday in July.
That sounds
I
accurate.
never-
I don't remember which day it is, but
I also
we'll
forget.
figure it out. But cool. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. Later.
Bye.
See ya. They might be the 4th.